the likes were botted on the content cop?
The dislikes were botted. The dislikes are. Yeah, you said it was brigaded and was botted, and it was unnatural. The dislikes on the video.
I don't.
Is he gonna pull up the clip? See, Ethan is the kind of person who has clips ready. Okay, so yeah. Hasan rapidly devolves into panicking, keeps interrupting and trying to divert because he knows his behavior is indefensible. Like, can Hasan like prepare a document of his own? Because he already seems incredibly unprepared. Like, why can't he prepare like a document of his own? By the way, there is absolutely. Do you have a dislike plug? No. But like, it could entirely be possible that Hasan can wrestle himself out of this situation, right? But it just seems like he's trying to make things harder for himself. So it's just like, I don't know, it seems kind of ridiculous.
I don't really care about this. I don't know. I mean,
I
don't recall saying this, but I don't know why this is a major point of contention. All right, so you asked that question. Let's get back to some other definitions.
Hold on, let me finish, and then you can do your definition.
Okay.
Did you think it was?
Well, it's not my definition. I want to hear your definition.
That's fine. I'll answer how you like.
I hope you know that, like, you know, I don't know if you know.
By the way, I don't even think it's impossible to defeat Ethan. I actually think Ethan has like the debate skills of a regular debate bro. Like, honestly, like if you like when I attended, you know, college debate club. All right. Yes, I know I'm that cringe. All right. Back then, like they basically debated like Ethan. You know, like he's like a very bog standard debater. By the way, providing receipts and providing evidence is like the bare minimum, right? Like, I'm not even talking about something that is like advanced debate tactics or advanced debate skills or something like that, right? Like, providing receipts and providing evidence is like the bare minimum. Like, getting ready a document of links and getting ready a document of you know, studies and stuff is like literally the bare minimum. All right, it's like, yeah, like I can't tell whether or not like Hasan came prepared. Maybe he has a script, but maybe that script is too small. I don't know.
But I didn't publish the content cop. iDubbbz did.
Yes, I know that, and I've addressed him thoroughly.
All right,
do you know that? Do you believe he should have included the context of the CPS call?
What?
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Wait. I'm a little confused. You are asking me.
He's a little confused.
What my opinion is on
the video.
iDubbbz's content cop.
Correct. That's correct.
About the CPS, I don't know, maybe, sure, okay.
Yes.
I mean, I think it was more so about like your.
This is not a good response, okay? Like honestly, he would have so much more guts if he just owned it. Like, what the fuck, dude? He's already so unprepared. Like, you can't be this unprepared, right? Like, he's already like off his game. Jesus.
Your year-long conquest of deplatforming and also
right. Well, 90% of the clips were from the episode entitled "CPS Came to My House." Hasan, I don't know if you think that's an important detail. I sure do.
Ethan, I think you know my position on this, as I've made it very clear. I think it's completely inappropriate to fucking call.
No. That's obvious. I'm saying your friend Hasan you made a video with did a total fucking hit job. All right, go ahead. Ask me a question.
I don't have any, like.
Go ahead.
Listen to me. Listen, we're both content creators online. We both have received an.
Real quick, guys. Since you guys are excited as I am, don't forget to hit that like button, okay? If you have any extra cash or donos to give, or you enjoy my commentary and you want to support me and my channel and my work, in which I spend an unruly amount of time every day to prepare content for you guys, yeah, you know, consider. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys, okay? Yeah.
Endless wave of harassment. You and I have talked privately about this.
Hasan, I don't care. Let's just go on.
What do you mean? You brought this up. You brought it up. Hold on.
I know what you're saying. We've all been harassed. The internet is tough. Whatever, yada yada. Ask me a question.
No. Please, Ethan, please.
Because you're so boring, bro. I just want to have an interesting conversation.
You know who also told me that? Andrew Tate. Please, just hold on.
Wow, God forbid.
Explain my position to you. You and I are both content creators. We get an endless wave of harassment, doxing, swatting, all of this stuff, okay? Sometimes by the same people, ironically enough, by the same communities. You and I know we've had these conversations in private. before we stop doing our podcast. And you know my position on this. I think it's completely unacceptable.
I know you're against CPS.
Victim to the same exact things that happened to you in this regard. I would never in a million years advocate for that sort of thing, and don't think it's appropriate.
Very good.
And I don't know why you think that I have anything to do with this.
Because you're misrepresenting what I asked you. I didn't ask you, do you think it's okay that people called CPS? I asked that the video that you participated in, which was a total fucking hit job that used 90% of its clip from an episode of the podcast called CPS Got Called on Me and didn't even include the title of the podcast. Now, do you think that's fair?
I think Ethan Klein is very justifiably angry. Like, you can say that, oh, Ethan Klein's crashing out, but like, damn, dude, like if my kids personally got like CPS called on them, bro, like by the people in Hasan's community, I would have also been fucking livid. So, I kind of understand his reaction here, right? I kind of understand why Ethan is ready to go right out the gate because he has a lot of things to say, right? Like, fuck it.
I think you should take this up with iDubbbz instead of me.
Okay, sure. Ask me a question.
Editorial. Yeah, I didn't make any of the editorial decisions in iDubbbz's content cop.
I'm asking what you thought about it, okay? Not if you made it. It's pretty fucking pretty obvious. Go ahead, ask me a question.
I'm sure it would have been. I'm sure that I'm sure that it would have been all right if he mentioned it.
It would have been all right.
I don't know why this is a major point of contention for you. I thought we were going to talk about Israel-Palestine.
We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. You had said that I have problems with your character. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, ask me a question.
But you having problems with my character.
Oh yeah.
Ask me a question. I'm going to move on to the next topic.
From you asking me about iDubbbz's editorial decisions in his content cop.
I'm asking about your opinion on it. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Okay.
Dude, this is really bad already, dude. This is not good. This is seriously not good. Dude, I think the most logical thing to do here is to disconnect from the call. I actually think the most logical thing to do here is to disconnect. I don't think you should, like, at this point, you should know that you're not in the correct mindset already, and you're not ready for an engagement with your nemesis, right? I just don't, like, this is not it, Hasan.
So, do you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza?
Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. So you agree with the with numerous human rights organizations, the UN?
I already said yes.
Okay, great. No, that's important. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Dude, I like how Hasan was ready to monologue as if, like, he denied it, but then, like, what? He's just, like, he's prepared to, go ahead and say something in case he says no? So he's gonna monologue anyway? It just seems like really, I don't know, like fucking bot behavior, right?
I also agree on
5 hours, let's fucking go, dude.
If you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza.
You have no idea how ready I am. Holy fuck, I'm gooning.
Do you feel like you have used your limited amount of time that you have as a content creator speaking out against Israel doing a genocide on the Palestinian population living in the Gaza Strip? Or do you feel like most of your commentary on that issue has overwhelmingly been to rail against people that are doing that?
Sure.
Pro-Palestinian advocates that you feel like you've been wronged by, myself included.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but if you're pro-Palestine, it doesn't absolve you of criticism. That's something that you guys keep harping on.
Do I think my coverage... I don't think that's the case. I don't think that is the case.
Okay. Do you think my coverage has been like totally balanced? I would say no. I've obviously given less time to the Palestinian perspective, and I think the reason for that is simply that...
No, not just the Palestinian perspective, Ethan. I think that rather than talking about that issue in and of itself...
Dude, it's so fucking over, dude. Ethan Klein is just like, dude, he's just like biting on every bullet. But it's not bad, right? Because the bullets are reasonable in his point of view to bite, right? It doesn't give Hasan any kind of edge in order to start monologuing like some Shakespeare soliloquy, right?
Rather than talking about the genocide itself, every time you have
Hasan, I'm answering your question.
Every time you've talked about Israel-Palestine, it almost always revolved around
I was going to tell you why. Do you want to let me answer?
Personal vendettas that you have experienced from
I was going to explain that.
content creators.
Okay. Would you like me to? You asked me a question, so I'm going to answer
Yeah.
it. The reason for that being is that I feel like I'm responding to a lot of bullshit that's been passed my way ever since Leftovers ended, starting from you and your community. Now, that's my answer to that. Now, let me ask you about this. This sword has a Nazi swastika hilt.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay.
This could.
Do you disagree? What's funny about that?
Okay. This would not be. This would not be the point that I would personally go to. All right. To be fair. Okay. To be fair to Ethan. I think it's way better. I think it's way better if you go through the crazier parts first before diving into the Nazi sword. Like it's just not a strong point. It's a pretty weak point, and yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know about this one. Okay, but we'll see. We'll see. Not Ethan threads the needle on this one. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but yeah, me too, Bucko. I feel like this topic is a waste of time.
I think it's funny because you've made this a major point of contention. That's why I think it's funny.
It's a swastika, is it not?
Yeah, it's a sword that is a bleach sword, as you know already, that has a hilt that has a Japanese manji sign on it. But yes, it does look like a swastika, as I've also noticed and have talked about on numerous.
Okay, never mind. Hasan just gave like the worst fucking response. So never mind, I guess. All right, like fuck it. Okay. You know what Hasan should have said? Do you know what the best response to Ethan's inquiry here? Okay, guys, let's use some critical thinking, okay? Let's not just watch this for blood sports. Let's actually think about what's the best response for this. What do you guys think is the best response for something like this? I'll let you guys think, okay?
That you brought forward.
Yeah. Of course, you're conceding that because we fished this up. But yeah,
such as when I made fun of, I believe it was Alexa that grabbed it, and I said, "Oh, you immediately go over the swastika one." Yeah, exactly.
The correct thing to say is, "It's funny." Yeah, no, Tar's right. You just need to say it's funny. That's straight up the best defense for it. Boom. You just say it's funny and say, I know it will make you mad, and that's why I did it. It's a swastika. That's right. I don't care. I don't care. I know it will make you mad, and that's why I did it. That is straight up the best response. Okay? Yeah.
Do you think
anyway, my point is, Hasan, if I can continue my point, is that you knew it was a swastika sword. So why did you guys choose to pose with this sword?
I mean, it's a stupid question, but then Hasan gave an even more stupid answer. So, you know what? Fuck it.
Ethan?
Answer that. Why was the choice made for this sword?
I'm gonna gently explain this to you again. One, it's not a swastika, but regardless.
Do you think it looks like a swastika?
I did not make this editorial decision. I wasn't even.
Do you think it's reasonable to perceive that as a swastika?
Ethan,
answer the question. Is it reasonable to perceive that?
I don't think it was a deliberate decision that iDubbbz made, but I don't know. I don't know his mind.
Hasan, they're your swords, and according to the New York Times article, there was 10 options. So what's the chances that they chose the swastika one? That seems pretty slim.
Well,
you have 10 swords, don't you?
The week prior to that, I believe. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't really remember when they shot this, but I had the sword out because I was doing an Assassin's Creed promo. Do you feel like if I thought it was like genuinely a swastika sword, I would use it in an Assassin's Creed promo shot?
Yes. That's what we call a dog whistle, Hasan. And what you're doing is gaslighting somebody. You made a video. Let me make a point here, Hasan, because you're the king of microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minority groups,
true.
Right? So you made a video. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish. Let me finish my point, Hasan.
No. Stop.
You are making a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism while exhibiting the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. Do you not see this as a problem? Or at least, am I insane for thinking this is odd?
Ethan, take a deep breath.
Answer the question. I don't need you to console me.
I didn't even hear your...
Okay, it's a stupid inquiry, but he went about it the best way. Okay, so good enough.
Question. Right. I need you to...
Well, you should try listening instead of speaking.
I'm just looking for clarification here. Do you think that I deliberately was using a dog whistle in an Assassin's Creed promo, or that it was a cool sword that was laying around because it's the only long sword that I have?
You have 10 swords.
I know, they're heavy. That's not a real sword.
So yes, I'm aware that it's not a real sword, but you had 10 to choose from. What does it matter how much they weigh?
Yeah, the other ones are heavy.
Let me paint a scenario. Hassan, let me paint a scenario for you, okay? Listen, okay? This is important. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism. You exhibited in that video the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. 1 out of 10 of your swords that you have previously already stated you know is the, quote, swastika sword. So am I insane for even... You're treating me like I'm insane for bringing this up, but it sounds pretty reasonable.
I mean...
excuse me? Are you trying to accuse our glorious leader, Hasan, of girl bossing and gaslighting and gatekeeping? Stop.
It's a little insane.
So yeah, microaggressions just don't exist for Jewish people.
You're asking me why iDubbbz.
It's your sword, bro. I don't believe that you weren't there.
I'm not iDubbbz.
You were there, bro. It's in your fucking house.
I don't know why you're asking me.
Because it's your house and your sword.
But I also gave you what my speculation is. And that is that
it was just a cosmic chance.
I previously had it laying around because I had just done an Assassin's Creed promo.
Okay, if you...
Dude, it only takes Hasan to lose to the sword point. How are you going to be losing to the sword point? No, don't go full retard. But he has went full retard, okay? How do you lose to the sword point? Bro... Dude, Hasan, come on, I expected more, all right? Aren't you, like, Destiny debate trained?
Say so. So if it's a cosmic fluke, which you claim, then why leave the photo up?
I'm not even in the photo, I don't think,
I know,
right?
It's in your room, though, and with your sword. Why leave the photo up if it's a cosmic fluke?
Wait, why are you asking me this question?
Hasan's career is over, a little hyperbolic. A little hyperbolic. Yeah, no shit, okay? That's to get people to click on the stream. Yes, that's the point.
I don't know. I'm not... Ethan?
I'm sorry, Hasan. Are you unable to make value judgments on situations? Like, isn't that what you do for a living? Do you think that iDubbbz should have removed...
I don't think it's relevant or that big of a deal at all. If that's what you're trying to get out of me, like, yeah, I think it's not...
Okay, so you're telling a Jewish man who's complaining about a very odd coincidence that I'm crazy and I'm exaggerating.
Over the manji on it, Ethan. Can we... Okay, you got me, all right? I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, you got me. I put a swastika in the video.
Oh, you got me on the swastika sword? Dude, it's time to quit the call. Guys, it's time for him to quit the call. All right, it's not too late. It's not too late to quit the call. All right, Hasan? Listen, it's not too late to quit the call, okay? You lost on the swastika sword point. You can still go, okay? Oh, God.
Calling you out for exaggerating anti-Semitism. You got me.
I didn't do that.
Yes, you did. You literally did.
I didn't do that.
Okay, laugh about it. Go on.
It's not a swastika. And
then why should you leave it up?
You have that much of an issue with swastikas considering you drew one on PewDiePie.
I'm a Jewish man, you fucking moron.
I didn't realize.
Is anyone in that room Jewish? What's anyone in that room? Did I draw swastika one time on?
Do you think that Jews have an exclusivity agreement with like being offended or not offended by Nazi imagery? You've done a Sig Heil approximately what 50 times.
Why did I do a Sig Heil? Why did I do a Sig Heil?
I don't know.
Because you only watch clips on Twitter. I was making fun of Elon Musk and trying to see if it was valid or not.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because he's Jewish. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? The entire point of why it's not a big deal is because given the fact that somebody is Jewish, them doing a Sig Heil greatly decreases the chance of them you know, actually being somebody who is bigoted or a Nazi, right? The reason why somebody doing a regular Sieg Heil is typically unacceptable is because because it's taken in a way that is a red flag. It's like a big red flag for somebody, right? However, if you are somebody who is targeted by the specific thing that you are exhibiting, the chances of it being satire goes way up, right? That's the entire point. Yeah.
And by the way, as a
Thank you for
Jewish man, are you
clarifying.
going to
My
tell black
bad.
people not to use the N-word?
Wait, what?
Are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word because it offends you?
Do you think this is an apt comparison?
Yes.
I don't care if someone is Jewish or not for either. It's the context that determines if it's actually racist, in my opinion. But definitely a red flag. Yeah, but the context is that he's Jewish and he did it, right? So I am including the context in it. That's the context.
Okay. So you think that being able to draw the your anti-Semitism radar is completely out of whack.
And who
Do
are you to
understand
say that to me?
Like,
You
that's the
posed
point
with
of
a
contention here.
swastika.
You're saying that it's not a
Yikes.
swastika, and you know it's not a swastika.
I mean, it literally is a swastika.
No, it's not.
Let me
Is
see the
it?
swords in your background. Why didn't you choose one of those ones?
I didn't choose the sword, Ethan.
I don't believe you.
Do you think this is a productive use of our time?
Absolutely. So anyway, you say it's a weird cosmic fluke. Personally, if I think it was a weird cosmic fluke, you say basically it's not a swastika. The difference between the Hindu symbol and
But it's not.
Okay, right. The difference between the Hindu symbol
What
and
you
the
drew on
Nazi
PewDiePie,
swastika.
on the other hand, was a swastika.
I'll finish what I said. Yeah, I'm a Jewish man. I depicted a
All right,
swastika,
cool.
a tasteless joke
I'm just making sure.
on
Okay,
IDubbbz
so you
shirt
can-
10 years ago. You said this is the swastika sword, and you keep it in your house, and you use it and pose it in photos, attacking a Jewish man. The fact that you can't even concede that
jokingly
looks
referred
bad.
to it as looking like a swastika when my
So-
friend picked it up.
so
If
let me-
I genuinely thought it was a swastika memorabilia, do you think I would keep it in my house?
Okay, so you have friends who think it's funny to pose with a swastika sword when you are being accused of anti-Semitism by a popular Jewish man online. Is that the angle that he's going with? Because that angle is not good either, right? It just means that he doesn't have a good handle on his friends.
Dude, you're being so obtuse. I know it's not a swastika, right? And I know you know it's not a swastika, but it is literally a swastika also. Because the difference between a swastika and that Hindu symbol is
Right.
this. You see what I'm doing? This is the difference.
Mhm.
If you ask a Hindu person, would they walk around with a swastika sign?
Wait, so you know it?
fuck
so you
no,
know it's
they
not
know
a
that
swastika,
looks
but
like
you
a
keep calling it a
swastika.
swastika sword. So I'm a little confused.
Ask your Hindu friends if they would walk around with like a swastika brandished. They know.
Okay.
Are you Hindu?
I am not Hindu.
Okay, interesting.
No.
Man.
So anyway, it was a cosmic
Wait,
fluke.
do you
You
think that
brandished
only,
what I.
Do you think that
what-
only Hindu people have bleach swords? Like, what's going on?
We're discussing
So-
the symbol, not the sword. Okay, go ahead. So you think it was a cosmic fluke?
Dude, turn it off. Turn it off. It's already over. Guys, I don't even know why we're still watching. It's fucking over. Dude. This is gonna be a slaughter. This is gonna be a slaughter. It's fucking over. Dude. Oh my god.
Fluke. There was 10 swords. He magically picked that one.
I can't. Again, I'm
and
speculating
he
on
left
the
it up.
decision making
If
of
it was
a
a mistake,
person
he could have
who I
deleted
am
it.
not. I'm not him.
Go ahead,
I
ask
don't
me-
know. Again, I'm gonna repeat myself here. I think I'm doing.
You
this a
don't need
lot.
to. Go ahead.
I am not.
Ask me the next
iDubbbz.
question.
I don't know what was going on.
I'm not
in his
accusing you of being
mind.
iDubbbz, Hasan, but you're acting like you're incapable of making value judgments on things because you're not
No, because
iDubbbz.
I already made the value judgment. I think you're being crazy.
Okay, well, Mr. Microaggressions thinks I'm being crazy. Very good. You have no problem telling Jewish people they're being
Wow,
crazy.
crazy
on
making.
what?
Yes.
It's like a blatant fuck. Go ahead, ask me the next
Yes.
question.
Yes, I don't.
Do you
I
think
don't
the
have
so-
a problem
if you could go
telling
back-
you're being crazy
If-
right now.
if-
You being Jewish has nothing to do with this.
Sure, I'm sure it doesn't. Do you think going back that it was a mistake to use that sword?
I don't really care about this at all.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that really shows where you.
That was actually literally the only right answer Hasan gave for the sword question. By saying like I don't actually care about this question, that is the best answer, right? Because by the way, if you give any kind of extended response to the swastika question, the length of your answer goes to show that you are heavily implying what the meaning of the sword is to the wider audience, right? Now, it's a bad answer after fighting to defend for 10 minutes just now. Yeah, no, sure, I agree with that, right? But in its vacuum, if this was given us the first answer, this would have been an easy way to sweep away the question, right? Super easy, right? I would have either said, I don't care, it was funny, or both, right? Obviously. It's like the easiest thing to say.
You're out on this. Go ahead and ask me a question.
Okay. So, since you believe
You have the habit of biting your hair? Yeah.
that Israel is committing a genocide, what are the appropriate steps that people can take, both in the Western world and also regional actors can take, against this entity doing a genocide by your own admission, that you would consider to be appropriate? Because it feels like throughout this entire process, you have set boundaries on what you think
just
is
killing civilians. That's the boundary.
As you have set boundaries on what you think is inappropriate.
Killing civilians.
And time again has said is outright anti-Semitic.
My boundary is killing civilians.
Okay, that's great. So
is that unreasonable?
That's a perfectly reasonable boundary to set.
Okay, good. So then
we
don't disagree.
Agree with you on that. Great.
Okay. So let me ask you the next one. Let me ask you about this Sabra tier list.
I have a. Let me finish.
Well, you asked and I answered. Go ahead. You could go on a little bit more.
Wait, did Hasan actually not prepare anything? Like, did he not prepare any clips that Ethan has done of him? Did he really not prepare anything? Like, outside of the typical Israel talking points? Dude, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Okay, so hold on. Everyone is complaining about my volume on my side because we're using Zoom instead of Discord. So my fucking
go ahead.
Audio.
It's fine. Take your time to get the audio.
My audio keeps going
it's a few
up and down.
Clips into him? Okay. All right.
So
he looks to his chat for sources.
One of the first conversations that we had, you and I had, that led to the Leftovers podcast ending, was that you considered "From the River to the Sea, Palestine will be free" to be an anti-Semitic slogan. You said that Jews feel like this is an exterminationist slogan and Jews fear this slogan in the United States of America.
Correct.
If you think that Israel's doing a genocide, do you feel like it is appropriate for Westerners in the United States of America and Palestinians and people of Palestinian descent to be able to use emancipatory slogans, or should they go to jail under the Trump administration?
Okay, I mean, these are pretty extreme questions. Now, I'm not making a value judgment.
Wait. What was the purpose of asking this question? Did he actually think that Ethan would go, yeah, I agree with Trump's decision of arresting these people? I think in any reasonable world, one can assume that Ethan most definitely is super opposed to Trump's actions of violating the First Amendment, right? Like, why would he even ask this question? Like, such a useless question to ask in the first place. Like, what was the point of this? I actually agree with Ethan that after this convo, I'm comfortable saying that Hasan is anti-Semitic. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how I feel.
I'm just trying. All I was trying to do.
Question is what's happening right now.
Bro, do you want me to answer?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain the Jewish perspective. I'm not trying to make a value judgment of it. But what I will tell you is that how do you feel about Norm Finkelstein?
Uh-oh.
Love Norm. I know he has said that it
Here's what he had to say about this.
I know what he said.
No. I want the audience to see this, Hasan.
Hold on.
Hasan, I want the audience to see this video. This is not going to be a
gotcha moment for you because I know Norm's position.
Good. I'm glad you know. Let's let the audience know, Hasan.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Hasan, let the audience watch the video.
I can have a nuanced and reasonable disagreement with a person that I actually admire.
So that's what we're having.
Like Norm.
What's going on?
But
so it's nuanced and understandable with Norm. Let the audience watch the video, Hasan.
Okay.
Palestine will be free.
Let me go back. Yeah. Here's the Norm Finkelstein, a prominent figurehead in the Palestinian liberation movement.
I would like the slogan.
I know. I have more positions that I disagree with him on.
The video
Palestine
as well.
will be free. I think it's a bad slogan. I know the slogan from the 1960s, the 1970s. It was a bad slogan then, and it's a bad slogan now because it has too much ambiguity. When you say from the river
Someone's going to hit me with the Cherry Act.
to the sea, Palestine will be free, obviously a question arises. Okay, what happens to the Jews in that?
I see that Hasan is using the JoJo family technique of running away. Good one. You learned that from Joseph.
Scenario. And some people will say, well, all it's about is everybody being free, but that's not what the slogan says. So I have, in recent weeks, I have voiced my concern.
Who's JoJo? No,
that it's a bad slogan.
Different JoJo.
And I said,
the
just
anime.
change it, tweak it. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And you can't answer that slogan because all you're talking about is equal rights for everyone.
Nah, never mind.
From the river to the
Sorry, it was a weeaboo reference, okay? Don't worry about it.
sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And I've encountered
I don't know if he actually means the one vote thing, because I think what he's saying is good in that. From the river to the sea, Palestinians will be free, which I think is good. You're laughing at Norm.
Routinely talked at campus encampments, college campus, Palestinian encampments as to, I'm not going to make much hay about the slogan in general. There's plenty of other slogans.
Well, you're willing to listen to him, but when I say it, it becomes a big controversy. I literally,
no,
I'm not. It's not even my opinion.
I can have a disagreement with him on that, and you're forgetting one key factor.
What's that?
Okay, you're forgetting one key factor. Norm Finkelstein still ultimately will always say, while I disagree with the slogan because I think it scares people, it ultimately does not matter, and I'm not going to stand in opposition to it. He doesn't say it's anti-Semitic.
When have I opposed it?
He doesn't say it is exterminationist.
When have I opposed
he says
it?
That's what people think.
When have I opposed it?
If you think that Norm Finkelstein would be in agreement with you in any way, shape, or form on any issue, please have a conversation with him.
He's literally in agreement with me, like verbatim.
Okay. No,
actually, even more.
You said it was anti-Semitic. Norm doesn't think it's anti-Semitic.
Hasan, do you remember me advocating against it? Do you remember me advocating against it?
Yeah, I remember when Ethan Klein said clearly, yeah, by the way, I think that slogan is anti-Semitic. I think it's anti-Israel, and frankly, it is quite offensive to me as an Israeli. I'm kidding. He did not fucking say that.
He agrees with you on anything.
Sure, I'll ask Norm Finkelstein. Do you remember me denouncing that statement and saying people shouldn't say it?
I believe in our conversation.
No, it didn't happen. You're lying.
You said it was anti-Semitic.
I said it's perceived that way by Jewish people. All right, let's move on. The Sabra tier list.
Norm does not believe it's an anti-Semitic
Very
slogan.
good. I'll ask him about it. Now, let me ask you about
Are you actually going to do that? Because that would be wonderful.
Yes, I'm going to talk to Norm.
Productive.
We'll have a great conversation about From the River to the Sea.
Is it? Wait, can I ask you a question?
No. It's my turn.
Okay,
You spoke, and now it's my turn.
You know what? You go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very gracious of you.
Well, I mean, it's just a back and forth conversation, but you seemingly have a lot of grievances not pertaining to the actual issue at hand. But
I don't know. The issue, my friend, the issue at hand is your behavior.
Right.
No, I think the issue at hand is the genocide.
Well, we seem to be coming at this from two different angles, which is great, right? So let me ask you this. Hold on. You said it's my turn to ask, so let me do that. Hasan, is it my turn to ask a question or what?
That there's a genocide. You already recognize that Israel is committing a genocide.
I can care about two things, Hasan. It's very important to acknowledge that.
Don't you think
I can care about two things, my friend?
Incredibly narrow framework surrounding
easy.
your own personal feelings.
I'm not that smart, but I can care about two things.
Holy shit.
No,
even if one is more urgent than the other.
You think your own...
How can one person be so fucking stupid, dude? Holy shit, dude. He's so one-track minded.
Personal feelings born out of your misunderstandings is more important.
Did I say that? I said one is more urgent than the other, referring to the genocide.
Oh, okay. So you recognize that
Hasan,
the genocide is a more urgent
Hasan,
issue.
please, let me ask a question.
almost all of your
Yes, very
commentary
good.
surrounding this issue
Very
on
good.
talking about your own personal feelings and how you've been wronged by people.
Very good. Let me ask you. So you claimed on.
Wait, can you answer that question?
No,
Does
Hasan,
that
you
make
asked your
sense?
question. It's my turn. I talked about how gracious you were, man. What happened?
Wait, but
I
does
said
that
you're
make
so
sense to
gracious.
you?
You're going to let me ask you a question. What happened?
Does that make
Don't
sense
make me
to
take
you?
it back.
Jesus.
All right,
Does
let me
that
ask you a
make
question.
sense to you?
Hold on to that. Ask me after this. You defended Frogan's use of the Sabra tier list. What was your opinion on that?
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Oh my god. Okay.
I think that the Sabra hummus tier list is absolutely insane to consider anti-Semitic, and most people have already laughed about it, despite the fact that it was very damaging in terms of deplatforming a bunch of content creators that participated in this, egged on by yourself, by the way.
Yes. With pleasure.
And yeah, it's not.
It's insane.
Even remotely.
Okay.
It's not even remotely anti-Semitic.
Very
it's like
good. Let me ask
identical
you a
to the
question.
Cracker Band that Twitch capitulated on.
So let me follow up with this. Have you seen the thumbnail?
The thumbnail?
Yes, that's what I said.
Oh no, he's about to talk about how they had Ben Shapiro in the same tier as Ethan Klein, and Ben Shapiro just also happens to be a very devout Jew, and oh fucking hell, oh no.
This
For
is the
what?
thumbnail that's still up. Now, let me ask you this, Hasan. Here's Frogan's thumbnail for the Sabra hummus tier list. In the F tier is me and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is not in the tier list. He has
Isn't
never
even on the tier
explored or
list, yeah.
used. Why do you think Ben Shapiro is on the F tier?
Uh-oh.
Ethan?
Whoa!
Ethan?
Answer the
You threw this
question.
again.
Ethan?
What you're dodging?
I'm not iDubbbz. And
Oh,
I'm
but
not
you
Frogan.
can't make
Ethan?
value judgments suddenly on your friends who you've spent all this time defending.
Ethan?
No, because I don't care.
Well, I
Ethan?
do.
I don't. Like,
I
this
think
is
it's great
so-
you don't
this
care.
is-
Why is Ben Shapiro there?
Why
I
is
don't
Ben
know.
Shapiro
I don't
there?
care. Probably because he's also
Probably
a
because he's
massive
Jewish?
fucking. What?
Because it's the most
he's Jewish?
prominent Jewish creators on YouTube.
Do you think Ben Shapiro's Judaism is the reason as to why he would be on this?
100% without a doubt, yes.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Hold
go ahead,
on.
take your time.
Dude, wait, was Hasan really not prepared for Ethan Klein doubling down and like willing to stand his ground on points? Like, was he actually not prepared for that? Like, I would have, other people would have been prepared for this. Sorry, I shouldn't say I. But like, I feel like you should have just like been prepared for this kind of answer, no? I just don't get why he's so flabbergasted. Okay, I don't know why this bro is so astonished. Why is bro astonished?
I know it's a lot to process.
Okay. Yeah, this is a lot to process.
Yeah, I know, man.
Dude, he's like I think Hasan is like mourning the loss of his career right now. I think right now he's slowly realizing that he might be chicken McFucked. Right? Will we get bathroom breaks for video pauses? I mean, you can go to the bathroom whenever the fuck you want.
It's tough. You really don't know what to say because it looks pretty bad.
No, because it's so fucking stupid.
Well, tell me
Ethan.
then.
You look kind of dumb
So why
right
is Ben
now.
there?
You look kind of insane.
Okay, very good.
That's
Why is Ben
I'm having
there?
a hard time. Like, I don't know
Oh my
why
God.
fucking Frogan made this thumbnail. And
Why
I
is
don't
Ben
care.
there?
I don't have any issue with this thumbnail.
Why is
Ben there?
Because he's a prominent defender of Israel.
You're
I
quick to
suspect.
say that Jews aren't the only Zionists, right? So why is Ben Shapiro, of all the people in the world who are conservatives, who are Zionists, Christian Zionists, why Ben Shapiro? Me and Ben Shapiro in F tier, the two most prominent Jewish creators on YouTube? That's a coincidence, just like the swastika, huh?
Ethan,
These are two cosmic coincidences,
Ethan,
eh? Hassan, they're really stacking up.
The tier list that you're talking about, first of all, the tier list that we're talking about was literally designed by a Jewish content creator who you advocated to ban, and he got banned.
Very good, and I'm glad he did. He definitely deserved it.
Jew. You called him a token
And
Jew.
I still stand by that. The man is just fucking. Yeah.
Dude, this is just gonna be 5 hours of Hasan being surprised that Ethan Klein has principles, right? Like he just couldn't stand the fact that Ethan Klein has principles. Is that really what's going to happen here?
So you get to draw swastikas on PewDiePie, but Rafi can't say that there is a tier list here
Rafi.
where Sabra
This is
hummus
Frogan's tier list. This is her.
is the lowest. The Sabra hummus, liking Sabra hummus is the lowest tier.
Ben Shapiro.
And the highest tier is being able to get a Habibi pass. You, as a Jew, get to determine what other Jews are able to do. You're the Pope of the Jews, as Sam Cedar likes to
I'm
call
not
Ben
determining
Shapiro,
what they can
ironically
do,
enough.
but
Is that
this
what's
is
going on?
This is
What's
Frogan's
that?
bit. This is her stage. This is
What the
her
fuck is
bit. I
Pope
mean, you
of
can
the
say
Jews?
the Jewish dude is the fall guy and did everything,
Ethan,
but
can you
that's
tell
not
me-
true.
wait, so you get to draw swastikas, but Rafi can't even say Sabra hummus is dog
He
shit.
can say whatever he wants. I'm not
Oh, so
criticizing.
he can,
By the
but
way, I'm
you're
not.
gonna-
You
you're gonna
think
call
that
him a
my
coven Jew
criticism
for
is that he doesn't like Sabra hummus? Are you being serious right now? By the way, is that a beef? Hold on. What are you drinking?
It's a Dr. Pepper cream
Isn't that
soda.
who owns that?
I don't know, but it's not on the BDS
Are you
national
sure?
BDS list.
We'll double check.
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Okay, we'll double check that. It's not about Sabra hummus and like let's.
That's a nice poke. I think Ethan Klein is referencing the one clip when the one Muslim girl ran up to Hasan and said, "Hey, did you know that you're drinking Coke? And Coke is like endorsed in Israel or whatever. If you want to boycott Israel, you got to stop drinking Coke." I'm pretty sure that's what he's referencing.
Let's not be
He's on the
obtuse.
BDS list,
Actually,
really?
the
Nice.
BDS one is actually pretty funny
Bro,
too, 'cause,
Special,
like,
welcome to
you've
chat.
been you consistently talk about how like I drink Diet Coke or whatever. When that fan came up to me and said stop drinking Diet Coke, it was not on the Palestinian National Committee's official BDS list.
Yes, it was.
And ever since it
lying.
has been on that official BDS list,
You're lying.
I have not drank Diet Coke or purchased any Diet Cokes at all.
You're lying. It was on the list.
Wait, what is
What? Yeah, it was on the list. You're lying.
what was on the list?
Coke.
Yes, it was put on the list, and I stopped purchasing Coke, and I stopped drinking Diet Coke.
You
even though I
said
love
you know
Diet
what's
Coke.
funny? You told her
Because I think it's like
you remember what
not
you told
that
her, son?
significant.
You remember? Yeah, you remember what you told her? You said, "I'll just put it in a cup."
Yeah, no, I was joking with her
My Hasan lore is spot on. Okay, never
because
question
I thought
me.
that it was a ridiculous request at the time because it wasn't on the Palestinian National Committee's official boycott, divestment, and sanctions list. Ethan,
Okay. It's not about Sabra hummus, just so you know. Like, let's not be silly
wait,
about
what is
this.
it about?
It's about what's Sabra means a Jew born in Israel. It's an Israeli company. Everybody knows it's like considered like Israeli hummus. It's been on the BDS list. Everybody knows the connotations of Sabra hummus, right?
It's
Nobody.
so doo-doo.
Yeah,
It
I
is
don't like
doo-doo
Sabra hummus either. But we're not talking about hummus. What I don't like is
okay, great. So
anti-Semitism
okay.
perpetuated by your friends and swept by you. Now, why is Ben Shapiro on the F tier? That's a cosmic coincidence. Okay, let's move on. Very good.
Ethan,
Go ahead. Next question.
I don't appreciate
I'm
this,
not
Ethan.
I know
And-
it's.
And I don't know
I know.
why.
How can I make value judgments on my friends I've been defending for 2 years?
Also,
Who can
say?
there is a tier list in front of me, and it seems like a bunch of people, both
Ben
Jewish
Shapiro and me are in the
non-Jewish,
F tier.
on the loves Sabra tier list.
You're looking at the end. I'm looking at the thumbnail, bro. I'm talking about the thumbnail.
I know, but I first of all, again, I'm making inferences about editorial decisions that other people have made. I'm just simply speculating at this point.
Sure.
But you know, it's a.
Are you not embarrassed
it's a
by this
joke.
armpit hair? It's so cringy, bro. It's like so weird. I'm glad you changed that finally. On a separate note.
What?
Okay, I know somebody in chat, I think it was Chris, was talking about how him making pot shots like that was cringe. I don't think it's cringe. I think it's pretty damn funny, okay? I think it's pretty damn funny that Ethan is taking in various personal insults at him because I think it's totally justified at this point, okay? Personally.
I find it just so weird and bizarre that this was your thumbnail for so long. Also, ironically, wearing a Rolex hat, which
Gross.
is like probably the symbol of capitalist excess.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a free
Cool,
Rolex
dude.
hat from a friend of mine. I still wear it every
Yeah,
now
and
and
you're
then.
so, oh wow, who knew? So anyway, Ben Shapiro
Wait,
was
I'm so-
accidentally
wait,
in
what-
the F
What
tier.
does this have to do with anything? What's going on, man?
Yeah, I know
what's
it's
happening?
confusing. It's very
These are
confusing
good
for you.
jobs.
It's
No,
like a
these are
car
good jobs.
crash, I'm
There's
sure.
so why do you think there's a
so
Jewish
this is a
man in the
cosmic
A
mistake.
tier
Let's move on.
on the tier list? If you think that it's like all about anti-Semitism and
Do you think that this is at least a bad coincidence?
No, I don't.
Well,
I
that's
really don't.
fantastic.
No, I don't think it's a bad coincidence at all. I think you're trying to find with a fine-tooth comb like any incidents.
The Jewish man is crazy. He sees anti-Semitism everywhere.
A really hard time.
These are just cosmic mistakes.
I'm telling you.
I think Destiny was right. Okay, being a white man is the easiest thing ever, dude. Like you don't have to deal with this kind of gaslighting. You don't have to deal with the fact that everyone is trying to convince you that you're being crazy. Like it literally is the best thing ever. If you're a white man passing, it's the best thing ever. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're actually Arabic or not. Okay, if you're a white man passing, you get to be the one that is actually gaslighting other people. Okay.
If you want my perspective, I'm giving it to you. I think genuinely, at a time when there is unprecedented levels
yes,
of
I know. We can't talk about anything else. That's very convenient for you.
At a time when there's unprecedented levels of out and about anti-Semitism with incredibly prominent, oftentimes right-wing conservative figureheads actively talking about Jews, okay, in deeply anti-Semitic fashion, you have lasered in on people that you can't even actually catch, quote unquote, dead to rights because they're not anti-Semitic.
Well, they're not wearing a shirt that says "I hate Jews," but they're walking around swastikas and doing careless with Jews on the bottom. I mean, that's as close as you can pretty much fucking get without them just saying "I hate Jewish people."
Ethan, it seems to me like
and I think you're acting really silly and obtuse right now. The guy who's all about microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minorities and stuff, telling a Jewish man that he's hallucinating anti-Semitism and won't even.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, yes. I think a way better way of doing this is by calling out the double standards. I think this is far more reasonable because when Hasan talks about Islamophobia, like whenever it's like the smallest infraction, Hasan would say it's Islamophobia, right? And in addition, remember how Hasan defended Frogan? Whenever somebody criticizes Frogan for a reason that was completely beside, her being Muslim or whatever, right? Hasan just goes to Islamophobia, right? So, yeah, so he shouldn't be standing on any kind of ground here, right? Obviously. So, yeah, no, okay.
Concede that this looks bad. Okay, fantastic.
No, you're hallucinating anti-Semitism in this circumstance.
Very good.
I'm not saying anti-Semitism is not a prominent fixture of American politics.
Very good.
I actually do think that anti-Semitism has exploded in popularity in American politics, especially. So that's not my point at all. I'm saying you individually right now wish that these people were anti-Semitic. So you're trying to find anything you can hold on to.
It's really not a stretch,
once again, none of those people are me. So I don't know why.
Let's stop with the value judgment thing. Like you can't make a decision. It sounds stupid as hell, dude.
Wait, I sound stupid as hell? What?
No, when you go, I can't draw. I'm not them. I mean, it's.
I mean, I don't know what you're asking me. What their genuine decision making?
Why would I want my best friend Ida to be anti-Semitic? Why would I want my best friend Ida to be anti-Semitic? Why would I want that? You think I enjoy my friends and people around me being anti-Semitic?
Do you want me to tell you why?
I would love.
I don't think you're gonna like the answer.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. Go ahead.
Wait,
okay.
What?
You want everyone that has criticized you to be anti-Semitic so that it makes you feel better about your position. It's not your own personal positions that you have explained to people that come across like you're using anti-Semitism as a shield to deflect criticisms against Israel.
Why is Hasan going this extra length? There is no reason for him strategically to go this extra length to dig himself into a hole. Like, he literally is just straight up being a fucking moron here. You don't need to do this. The fuck? Can we just do a rewatch of that?
Genuine decision making.
Why would I want my best friend Ida to be anti-Semitic? Why would I want my best friend Ida to be anti-Semitic? Why would I want that? You think I enjoy my friends and people around me being anti-Semitic?
Do you want me to tell you why?
I would love.
I don't think you're gonna like the answer.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. Go ahead.
Okay, you want everyone that has criticized you to be anti-Semitic so that it makes you feel better about your position. It's not your own personal positions that you have explained to people that come across like you're using anti-Semitism as a shield to deflect criticisms against Israel.
This is
and that if they are actually out and about anti-Semites, that'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable, like you won the argument in your mind, and that your community would also finally go, oh yeah, you're right, you're a permanent victim in this situation. But because there's an unimaginable amount of anti-Semitism everywhere online, it comes across as shocking that you laser in on what you perceive are dog whistles when they're very clearly not even dog whistles at all. And I'll give you an example of this. Something that you did that I found very funny was you tweeted, or you don't tweet, sorry. You Instagram posted about my Theo Von podcast appearance.
Sure did.
My Theo Von podcast appearance where you were like, oh, I can't believe Theo Von didn't actually ask him about his like dangerous anti-Semitism or any number of different things in the conversation. Including, I think you talked about Rick Scott. Now, we did actually talk. Theo Von and I did actually talk about Rick Scott. Let's pull that clip up, I'm sure you didn't see that. But hold on. Let me finish. But what I found very strange about that was the fact that Theo Von, and I didn't even know this at the time, the day prior to me, had actually interviewed Candace Owens. I think you and I both agree that Candace Owens is an anti-Semite, right?
I think that he was on that 1-2 punch.
Okay.
Wow, bow, bam.
Do you think
you hit him with that anti-Semitism, boy?
No, Ethan.
I think he was on a vibe.
As your former podcast co-host, do you think that I am anti-Semitic? One, and if I am, if you think I am, do you think I'm as anti-Semitic as Candace Owens?
So yes, I think you're anti-Semitic.
Who the fuck was comparing you to Candy's nuts, dude? What the fuck?
At this point, I'm comfortable saying that. Are you as anti? Well, let me finish.
Let me finish. You asked me 2 questions, and let's address.
No.
What you think I'm doing that's anti-Semitic.
Hold the phone. You asked me 2 questions together. I'm going to answer both. You said, "Do you think I'm anti-Semitic?" After talking to you so far today, I can say unreservedly yes. I think that you are more anti-Semitic than Candace Owens? No, but I think your form of anti-Semitism is way more destructive and sinister. Yeah. Candace Owens is outright. Hold on there, Hasan. This is an important question.
You think I'm anti-Semitic now? Because 2 days ago you said I wasn't.
I'm gonna answer.
Okay.
Your form of anti-Semitism is way more insidious because it's silent, it's tricky. She's out there just saying what she believes, and I respect her for that. Nick Fuentes.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, because the tricky, low-key, lowbrow, microaggression kind of racism and anti-Semitism is way more malicious and way more like insidious. Yeah, I agree with that. I actually agree with that. Yeah, 100%. This is why, in my opinion, a lot of these like progressive people are way more uncomfortable to hang around. Just simply because like they have their preconceived notions under the surface, so you can't even call them out on their bullshit. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Is just out there. Nobody knows that what's his.
I'm honestly totally here for Ethan's informed and combative arc, 100%. Yeah.
Stance on Israel. Candace Owens' stance on Israel. But you're tricky. What you do is deny the heritage of.
When it's more palatable, people can, and then becoming more extreme later is like a seed. Sure. Yes. Exactly. Same. And a way for people who don't know how to slowly convert them. I'll give an example actually. So for somebody who's like a non-passing trans person, a lot of the time when you hang out in progressive spaces, what they will do is that they will essentially go, oh, what are your pronouns? Because if you're obviously a woman, right, they don't ask you for your pronouns. They instead would just go, oh, well, that woman over there, that girl over there, that person over there, right? Like they'll never go, oh, what are your pronouns, right? However, when you interact with any kind of conservative man, or any kind of conservative, they'll just go immediately straight to, oh, yeah, that lady over there, that woman over there, that whatever. Like, again, this is the kind of insidious microaggression I'm talking about, okay?
Of Middle Eastern Jews, stuff like that. You accuse them of being always the oppressor, always everything. And by the way, you spent the first part of this debate calling me insane for what I think most people would perceive as blatant, obvious anti-Semitic acts.
I don't think most people.
Yo, can we just all agree that this debate is almost as hot as Foodshops? Well, I'm not hot, so this debate is fucking absolute zero. Then
would look at what you're doing right now and
let's
think
not
that
worry
this
about
is
that.
a
Let's
sign of mental sanity.
Well, we'll have time to poll the audience afterwards. So let's continue.
Okay. All right. Well, look. Going back to the Theo Von situation, and you said, so you said I'm anti-Semitic, right? Yesterday you said, or 2 days ago, in the aftermath of the Sam Cedar conversation, you said I'm not anti-Semitic. So what has changed in that process? Is it this conversation that you and I had?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right.
Here's the clip, by the way. You accused me of not.
That it won't,
you accused me of not mentioning that Theo Von did not ask you about Rick Scott. Let's go back and watch the clip.
Because, no, I said I didn't say.
Bro, you literally look like the dude from Beetlejuice. That's crazy. The small head guy.
Ethan, I use my words very carefully. I said in the Instagram story that you posted. I don't watch your stream that much. I don't. I only
in the
see
waiting room.
Bro,
that's crazy. Do you see the resemblance?
Oh my god.
What?
You're this guy from Beetlejuice. In this photo, you have like the same coat and shit.
Dude, this is some drunken master debate strats right here. Okay? This is some drunken master debate strats right here, okay? Literally drunken. Actually, maybe he's probably doing it on purpose, okay? I would fucking do this on purpose. Like, just insult their appearances randomly in between. Yeah, this is just master, 100%.
Yeah.
Hey, you got that from the subreddit.
Yeah, that's you are a comedian.
I sure am, buddy. I see you laughing. All right, anyway. So you accused me of misrepresenting what happened. Let's play the clip.
Right? $800 billion in Medicare Medicaid that they want to cut. Mike Johnson goes on stage, says, goes on Caitlin Collins on CNN and says, oh, there's a lot of fraud happening. There's not fraud happening in Medicare and Medicaid on the point of the recipient.
Right.
It's happening on the point of the providers.
Right.
And that's why I got banned recently on Twitch.
By the way, actually, no, I actually do think Ethan Klein's doing this on purpose. The reason why he's doing this on purpose is because he knows that Hasan's ego is fragile. That's why. Okay, that's why. Yeah, no, like if you knew that somebody's ego was fragile and they're very prone to insults, you know for a fact that, saying something like this will throw them off. But if somebody was actually confident, they would just like shrug it off, right? Like if somebody was actually confident in who they are and what their appearance is like they would 100% go like, yeah, so who cares? Nope. Oh well.
Yesterday, because
Sorry about that one day.
So you just got back.
Yeah, Libs of TikTok was like posting about how I said something. Wait, what is this?
Yeah, he knows these days will last forever.
They misconstrued it as though it was a call to action to assassinate a sitting
Wait,
why
are
you showing me this?
Well, you're saying I didn't bring this up, or I'm saying that Theo didn't bring this up. He didn't. You brought it up, framed it in your own way to basically preempt a tough question.
Ethan, I said on the Instagram story that you posted about me, Dan, can you switch it back?
By the way, can I just say, Hasan 100% deserves this, okay? The reason why he deserves this is because his audience, he refuses to moderate his audience, which personally insults Ethan directly in much more crazy ways than just his masculinity. Yeah, like comparing him to a Zionist pig and everything, okay? And then when Ethan Klein pointed that out when they still had a bridge, Hasan basically denied and said, like, I can't moderate my audience, dude. Yeah, so, yeah, again, this is totally, like, fucking deserved.
To Ethan?
Don't switch it back, Dan. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm switching it back. Okay. 1 second.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
I know, man.
This looks ridiculous on my end.
Does, buddy.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Not to be rude, but I'm really wondering about you. How are you and why do you stream and why do you think your opinion is different from the majority of people and why people should listen to your opinion? Okay, so I don't know. I'm just a random internet goer. I've been streaming for maybe 1 to 2 years. This is a bot? Okay, Kenneth, if you're not a bot, speak up. Let's go.
So yeah, this was
and it's not just because of the video.
The post as well, but the post I was referring to was make sure Theo knows how you feel about hosting a terrorist adjacent content creator, and I believe there was another post about it or something. But again,
I said he was irresponsible to platform you and not ask you.
I'm not a bot, sorry. Okay, just in case. Okay, just in case. All right, I'll say it real quick. I think that I try to be here's the thing, okay? Just like any other person, I think I am fully susceptible to making mistakes and making wrong judgment calls and making wrong opinions. But I like to think that, you know, as time goes by, I try my best to improve my opinions. I try my best to do research. I try my best to interact with chat in order to develop my opinions. And, you know, like, yeah, like, here's the thing, all right? Like, I try to be as cognizant of my own biases the best I can when I am criticizing other people and when I'm giving takes. So yes, even though I'm not free of biases, even though, you know, I don't think my opinions is the best that they can be, right? I try to, you know, strive to do my best within the span of my laziness. And I'm not afraid to admit that I'm lazy sometimes as well. So, you know, yeah, that's about it, really. Wait, why do you have to justify streaming and talking about whatever the fuck you want? You don't have to justify it, but it seems to be an earnest question, so I would like to reward it. Yes.
Difficult questions.
Yeah. So the question I have for you once again is like he had Candace Owens on. Like, do you feel like that's a little bit more damaging in terms of spreading potentially anti-Semitic narratives? Or do you think that anti-Semitism is when you feel bad personally, and that could be any number of different things that I've done in any given moment?
Yes, I think you were just as bad as her in your own special way, and that's why.
You
guys were hitting that same flavor.
Candace Owens,
yes,
on anti-Semitism in my own special way.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Very good.
Cool.
Very good. So let me ask you a question. Hasan, can I ask you a question?
Can you now officially not talk about like Frogan?
I honestly think that you can defend that. Like, I genuinely think you can defend that, because at least Candace Owens is open about it, but Hasan's is kind of like the rabies virus, right? Once the symptoms start appearing, it's already too late. You're already dead, right? Like, I think that's, in my opinion, why Hasan's version is a lot more insidious, is because once you find out, it's already too late. You're already way too down the rabbit hole, in my opinion. Okay, but yeah. Sounded passive-aggressive to me, but I could be wrong. Hasan doesn't engage. I had his text. It's always hard to read subtext. Yeah, sure. Thank you for answering. I have you on for background noise. I was just wondering and appreciate the answer. Of course, yes. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Okay, I appreciate you. Stick around.
Or anyone else and tell me why I'm anti-Semitic?
Well, we're kind of getting
2
there.
2 days ago, you said I wasn't, but
I
also for a year.
You're repeating yourself.
Well, I am, because you haven't answered this question.
I have literally answered it probably 2 times. The reason that I'm saying you're anti-Semitic is because how you responded to my question at the beginning of this interview.
Ethan, for an entire year, you called me a virulent anti-Semite, a rabid anti-Semite.
Never did.
You did.
You
did.
You
went back and forth.
I have actually went back and checked
you on it.
I had said that you spread anti-Semitism and stuff, but I never called you an anti-Semitic. I went back and checked.
So
you're
I was
lying.
just simply spreading anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference.
Okay, got it.
True. There is a difference.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Is about Habib.
Do you think Hasan realizes it and it's intentional, or just too dumb? I actually think he's aware of it and not aware of it, right? Like, I think that he does these kinds of things on purpose, but I don't think he knows how severe it is, right? I think that's it, right? Like, I don't think Hasan genuinely thinks himself as somebody who is anti-Semitic. I don't think Hasan thinks that, okay? But what I do think is that Hasan does genuinely think, you know, he does actually believe in communist principles, and he genuinely does want people to convert to the left, and he genuinely does want people to become, like, communistic and, like, anti-imperialist and anti-American. Right? These are all things that he wants his users to be. However, I don't think he believes that he himself is anti-Semitic, which is why he is malicious and dumb at the same time. Yeah.
BB, not Sabra, you're conceding to the framing? Yeah, we're not conceding to anything. I don't want to even talk about the tier list anymore. Stop it. Okay.
Okay, let me ask you, my turn. Do you think it's appropriate to accuse, any Jewish person you disagree with of working with the ADL?
Dude, this ship is really hard. Holy shit.
No.
Here, for example, is someone using it anti-Semitically.
Are you saying that Ethan Klein and ADL in
big difference, rage bait again? Well, it is rage bait. It is rage bait, but in addition to rage bait, he is also trying to funnel his he's also trying to funnel his followers into his orbiters. By the way, Hasan's orbiters are a lot more extreme than Hasan himself, okay? Like, if you ever view any one of Hasan's orbiter streams, like, they are just full-on tinky. Full-on tinky. Okay. Yeah.
In unison.
Hasan, let me finish. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy.
Yes, I do think that that's
You're getting ahead of
valid
yourself,
thing
man.
to, that's a valid thing to not only speculate, but also I stand on that for sure.
Hasan, I'm getting there. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy. Here's an example of it being used in an anti-Semitic way. I'm sure you'll agree. Timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I heard you in the ADL.
What is this?
This is your fan who ran up on me on Rodeo.
Who the fuck is this guy? My fan?
Yeah.
This
you remember?
Wait, is this the? Is this the guy?
Oh, yeah, you remember.
Wait. No, this is the guy that you claimed was my fan, right? He was calling me the fucking.
I mean, there's a clip of being like, "Yo, I love this dude." Anyway, who cares if he's your fan or not?
No.
The point is,
Hold on.
No,
you brought this dude
up. It doesn't
up.
matter. I'm showing him as an example of you.
It does matter.
Okay, fine. He's not a fan. I don't care.
You brought him up. Wait, what do you mean you don't care?
If I brought him up, Hasan, if I brought him up, let me finish my point.
He's not a fan of mine.
Why
did you make it seem like that person was a fan of mine then?
Let me get to there, okay? You asked me. It's my turn to ask a question. Just because I brought him up doesn't give you the space to interject.
Is it because he rolled up to me and tried to fucking clout farm? Is that why?
Yes. Okay, thank you very much.
I was very clearly disturbed by his presence.
Hasan, I think you know where I'm going, and I think you're scared. Yep.
Ethan, can you answer the question? Why did you falsely claim that this fucking random dude who does not like me
that you're his favorite person in the world? What do you mean?
Didn't you use?
What do you mean by orbiter? An orbiter is a content creator that orbits a larger content creator for the sake of their own career. It's not inherently a bad or a good thing. However, I do believe that if you are an orbiter, you need to take into account the biases and the self-interests that they have. For example, they are much more willing to defend the bigger content creator that they are orbiting around than disagree with them, and they are much more willing to sweep. So you have to be like cognizant of the biases there, right? Yeah.
All right, Hasan, here you go, buddy. Here we go. You wanted it, I've got it.
Approaching you. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty,
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro.
I love you, bro.
You're like you're my hero, bro.
You're the.
Like you and Destiny, nada. He blocked me on Discord, okay? Because I was asking him about the leaked nudes. I'm not joking. I DM'd him about the leaked nudes and he blocked me on Discord, okay?
Oh, you're the coolest guy in the world, bro.
Wow, how crazy.
Look gay in that
I'm fucking. Is this another hysterical delusion?
Yes, it is, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly why. Because
wow, dude, I love you. You're the GOAT, bro.
We spent a good deal of our time in the encampment. If you watch the unedited full live stream, we spent a good deal of the entirety of the encampment running away from him because he kept trying to ask me dumbass fucking questions.
Okay, but that's got nothing to do with he's a fan.
For his own dumbass podcast.
You're derailing this, and I need to.
I'm not derailing it.
You
it's
absolutely
not called derailing when I'm telling you I was there and I'm telling you the situation.
Very good.
You are nefariously making it seem as though this person is a massive fan of mine.
Do I need to play the clip again?
He was just trying to cloud chase.
I'll play it again. You know, I'm fucked.
You can play that clip again.
Oh my God!
I'll add subtitles.
Can I give you a hug?
Can you play the clip where he openly admits he doesn't know who I am and asks people around? Because that also.
You're my hero, bro. I love you.
You're the coolest guy in the world.
You're the coolest guy in the world.
Hold on, I think I look gay in that one.
I think I look gay in that one.
3, 2,
Ethan.
1.
Ethan.
Yes, sir.
Ethan.
Mm-hmm. You okay?
If you think he was a fan of mine, why'd you call him a Sneeko fan when you interviewed him?
Because he's both. I mean, surely there's crossover.
Yeah. There's a crossover.
Do I need to play the video again?
Okay,
I'll do it again. Fuck it.
My producer and my camera op, Mark.
Wait, why is he significant? Right? Wait, oh, right. He's significant because he is the one that harassed Ethan Klein and Hila Klein in public, right? He's the person that, you know, yeah, he was like nabbing after them in public, right?
My producer and my camera op, Mark,
I'm so sweaty, bro.
There,
I'm so sweaty.
And he's in the chat right now.
You're like you're my hero, bro. I love you, bro. You're the coolest guy in the world, bro. Hold on, I think I look gay.
Listen, he might not be a fan, but you can't accuse me of being delusional for saying that.
You are delusional.
Okay, very good. I'm delusional. Let me get to my point, please. I mean, so I'm not even asking you to endorse this guy. I'm just simply showing you.
I don't endorse him.
I know you don't.
He's not a fan of mine. So why did you claim that he was a fan of mine? Because he fucking
I'll play it again.
chased.
I mean, I feel like we're running in circles, but I'll play the clip again.
Palestinian encampment. That's why. That's all it takes for you.
No, it was when he said, "You're the GOAT. You're my hero. I love you."
He didn't know who I was. He was just saying that so he could fucking ask for
He
an
literally
interview for his
recognized
podcast,
you.
for his PUA podcast.
Okay, who cares? I don't care. So let me
Wait,
move
now
on.
you don't
do you
care.
want to talk about this
It
for
seems
2
like
hours, or do you want to actually have a
seems like
conversation?
this is wait, well, hold on. You can't just say you don't care all of a sudden when you look like a fucking asshole for falsely claiming that some random person who stalked you is a fan of mine. You said he was a fan of mine in, I believe, in,
okay,
in one of your videos.
I lied
you
about
said
him
he was
being
a fan of mine, and I was sending harassment your way.
Yes, very
Don't
good.
you think that's a big point of contention? Don't you feel like this is a big point of contention?
I concede.
He doesn't want Ethan Klein to move on because what Ethan Klein's about to show next is like especially like bad as well, right? Because it doesn't really matter if this person is your fan or not, right? It doesn't really matter. That label doesn't really matter. What matters here is the fact that this person harassed them in real life. So this is why like you should be careful on who you're associating with. Basically, I guess what Ethan Klein wants is for this guy to disavow him. That's what I assume he's looking for. Right. Stalkers are fans though? Like content creators don't have to give consent to be a fan? Yeah, exactly.
I want to show you an example of...
Do you see my side of this though?
I think,
like,
no, you're being dishonest.
A random Sneeko fan comes up to me.
A random Hasan fan comes up
chase,
to you.
And you, wants the clout chase, and you turn around and you say that he is a fan of mine to prove a point, to make a false point that to imply that I'm sending people to harass you.
That's not what I implied.
Like that's appropriate?
That's a total lie. I have never accused you of anything of the sort. That is an outright horrific.
You did not imply that this person that was a fan of mine was actually harassing you.
Yes. Now that's a big logical leap, Hasan, from he's a fan of yours to you're sending people to harass me. That's fucking insane. And by the way, I mean you are a liar. You know that, right?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think Ethan actually said, "Oh yeah, I think that I think that Hasan sent this person to harass," right? The only thing that he was talking about is how, you know, this guy was just like a fucking asshat, right? That's it.
Did he not harass you?
Bro, what are you talking about? Did you send him to harass me? No.
Did he harass you and then you imply in your video that he was a fan of mine?
Go ahead. When you're done, I'll wait.
Leading the audience to believe. Here, we have a clip, by the way. Dan, if you want to play this supposed fan of mine, since you guys are playing clips over there.
By the way, this was a while ago. He turned on you when he saw that you support trans rights. I know. He spoke.
So is he bringing up clips of his own then? Okay, let's go.
No. Even before he actually meets me.
I'm not even mad. I don't care about this guy.
No, well, seemingly you care enough about it that you brought him up here and you used him.
You didn't even let me explain why I'm showing it.
You used him in the past to act like I was sending hate your way.
Bro, you're terrified because you know where this is going.
Uh-oh.
I have no idea where this is going. This has been a journey.
Well, how about you let me fucking speak, and then we can figure out, we can take the journey together.
Can you play this clip, though?
So this clip is just an example, not that you're endorsing him, not that he's a fan.
Can you play? Dan, I sent you a clip.
I passed it along. It's out of my hands.
It's the
introduction
of this character onto the stream where he's like, "Who's this guy?"
I'll play it.
He knows.
Pothead or pot man. Is that it?
Hey, I can be on it. Are you guys doing interviews? I'm Palestinian. I know I look Jewish.
He doesn't.
Oh, no, we're just streaming.
Israeli. I look like Israeli.
We're just the guy. Normally the answer would be yes, but he's busy right now.
What are you guys doing?
You're not there.
We're just streaming.
It's live stream.
Oh, live streaming?
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, yikes already.
You're not even in this clip, bro. What are you talking about? You're not even present.
Later.
You're out. What? You're out playing with swastika swords or something. You're not even in this clip.
Dude, why? Chat. I think he's showing it on his side. You're not seeing the clip. Yes. Yeah. He's showing the clip.
Okay.
That is the first introduction of this character onto the broadcast, and he doesn't know who the fuck I am. He just.
Has anybody took a look at Hasan's chat yet? Has anybody like checked like what Hasan's chat looks like in this instance? Oh no.
Sees cameras and goes, "Oh no, I would like to do interviews with this person who is famous." It seems that was the whole point. The reason why I showed you that is
It's
because
bad?
he was never a fucking fan. And then
In what
when
way?
he saw the full extent of my viewpoints, he started calling me the F slur. He's a Sneeko fan.
Hasan, in that clip, he doesn't see you. You're not there.
Ethan, he is a clout chaser.
I mean, this isn't the biggest point. Like, again, I won't say, like, I won't say that this is the biggest point, but Hasan's reaction to this and the fact that he's trying to, like, hide it and the fact that he's trying to, like, move away from what Ethan wanted to show, like, makes this far worse, in my opinion. Because now it feels as though, like, he's trying to hide his guilt, right? Rather than the fact that this is something to actually focus on.
Fine, bro. I don't care. Who cares? Let me ask you a question.
I do care because
okay, very good.
I do care because you have made an inference.
Oh my God,
erroneous.
Dude. You are dragging your feet on this topic, bro. It's getting ridiculous. Can we please move on?
That is ridiculous.
This clip you sent didn't prove me wrong at all. You're not there. And you were never there, Hasan. Okay, let's continue, please.
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is an example of someone who I think is anti-Semitic. You probably agree with me.
What's the current timestamp? 1 hour and 3 minutes.
On that, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. He's not a fan of yours.
I think, no. I think that guy.
Yeah.
That, I mean, from what I've seen, any number of different things I've seen from that dude, I think he's like a right-wing dating coach or something.
Yeah, he is. Dating Money 101, baby. Just like and sub. All right, so here he is using the ADL. He accuses me of being in the ADL.
The funniest part is that he probably gained a bunch of subscribers after this, just because of how big this event was. He probably gained a lot from that sarcastic shout out.
Operation.
Okay.
I don't know, but I heard you survived it, and I heard you survived the Holocaust.
That timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I heard you in the ADL, bro.
Oh no.
The ADL? No, I'm not. All right, so he says, I heard you're in the ADL, bro, which, like, obviously is, you know, I perceive that as anti-Semitic.
I don't think you're in the ADL, Ethan, if that's what you're going to say.
Well, you said, and I'll quote a tweet that you made. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You said, I'll quote, he worked with the ADL to make Zionists a protected class on Twitch. Now, that is an outright lie.
I don't think it's an outright lie.
I worked with the ADL.
Took credit over it, didn't you?
Sorry. I worked with the ADL.
Wait, was that a tweet that Hasan did? That was a tweet that Hasan did, right?
ADL? What does that mean?
Yeah, as in like worked alongside. I don't think you're in the ADL.
Oh, that's what you meant when you said I worked with the ADL. I worked beside them.
Oh shit! So Hasan was the one that fucked me, dude.
Just incidentally together. You didn't mean that I worked.
Okay, yeah, this was kind of yikes, dude. This was yikes. Uh-oh. Yeah, nah. I think that's yikes. I think that's yikes territory. Okay, stop.
Worked with them privately to get people banned? Of course not.
Jesus.
No, I do think that.
Did you say you choose your words very carefully?
Alongside the ADL.
You just told me briefly ago, you choose your words very carefully, Hasan.
Yikes.
Not always. I am famously.
Okay, we're walking that back. Sometimes I speak out the side of my mouth when I say you work with the ADL. So. Here you are again repeating the lie with Steiny on video. Go ahead. You had time
constantly come after me when his knows I'm not anti-Semitic and making these inferences that I am and like partnering with like the ADL and.
It's wild that he didn't come prepared to answer this. It's wild that he didn't come prepared at all. Like he's not even remotely prepared. Like not even a little bit. It's so embarrassing.
Partnering with the ADL. You want to unpack that one there, buddy?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Again, working with, partnering with the ADL. That is precisely what took place. I have
never spoken to the ADL, so what does that mean?
I'm not saying you directed the ADL
Do you know
to take
how
action.
silly you
Well, actually,
look?
you know what? I am kind of saying that. I am implying that you directed the ADL to take action.
Well, that's a defamatory claim that has zero proof. And frankly, it sounds a little Jewish conspiratorial.
If I thought that you worked for the ADL, I wouldn't
have
have
not spoken to the ADL.
I would have said you worked.
I think it might be too much work to pull up another stream of it. But if you want to take any screenshots, please do and send it my way. Okay. Thank you.
For the ADL. Now, what's interesting to me, of course, about this is that
I
you
do
have
not
taken
work with the
credit
ADL.
for these bans.
Hasan, I do not work with the ADL.
What?
You
No
were
way.
a part of the mass smear campaign.
That is
with
not
your
working with the
YouTube
ADL. Would you
videos
say that,
falsely
I got
claimed
nothing to do with
that
the
this-
ADL. Blame Frogan for doing a racist fucking panel at TwitchCon that became a viral
That
story
wasn't a
independent of
racist
me.
panel, Ethan. Just like cracker is not an anti-white term,
Okay,
except public pressure clearly works on Twitch, and they make erroneous bans when they don't want people coming after them.
Here's
Twitch
Frogan
has
repeating the same lie that you heard from
public
you.
pressure on
I actually
numerous
had this with the
instances.
last
This is
year
what
and
you
a half.
learned from
You
you.
did everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a
So
joke.
she said I weaponized the ADL. You said I
Oh no. By the way, for those of you guys who don't understand the context, Frogan is Hasan's like head moderator, I'm pretty sure, okay? And in addition, people like referring to the ADL whenever, you know, they feel like something has Jewish influence, but, you know, they're too afraid of saying Jewish influence, so instead they say ADL, okay?
partnered with the ADL. You said I worked with the ADL, but you didn't mean that I spoke to them. You just meant that we were magically skipping along and happened to just...
Yeah, she's a mom.
Without even seeing each other, just working together in perfect harmony and love. And by the way, I'm pretty sure you're...
I thought she was just an orbiter. No, not just an orbiter. No. She's Hasan's, like, she's one of Hasan's top mods.
You're implying that I worked directly with them on this.
No, I don't. I don't
Okay,
think you
well,
worked
you doubled
directly
down
with
on
them.
it. You said that you do believe that, and I just want to let you know that that is a
No, I don't think you directly work with them. I think your goals are aligned on this.
She's in
yes,
there, yeah.
and
But then,
you're
for Mr. Precise words, say that. Don't say you're partnered with the ADL. Do you understand? You said partnered with the ADL. Me, a Jewish man, you accuse, without any evidence at all, of being partnered with the ADL.
Ethan,
You're now
you
trying to
admitted
rewrite
you-
history and
you
say, I
admitted
said
that
you were
got the
working
streamers banned.
besides
You
them.
took
You
ownership
are a
over it.
liar.
What are you talking
You
about?
are
Oh, right. Yes, Headshot is right, okay? Frogan is also the 2-time upcoming streamer of the year, okay? True. Oh yeah, guys, okay? If you guys enjoyed the stream, please remember to drop a like, drop a sub, and if you guys want to support me any further, remember to drop a few dollars as well, okay? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. This is a fantastic day. I'm having a great time. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys, and consider donating, okay? Hit that bell as well, okay? Also, see if I can do this. Oh fuck! I messed up the order. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay.
a virulent fucking liar.
Ethan, did you or did you not take ownership over the bans?
I think, yeah, I might have. Does that mean that I'm working with the ADL?
Take a Chad.
Hey, Hasan, can I ask you a question? Are you working with the Neo-Nazi Party of America? Because they're also anti-Zionist. No, seriously. Are you working with the Neo-Nazi group of America who's also anti-Zionist? Do you work with them? Are you affiliated with them? Are you partnered? Are you partnered with neo-Nazis?
Holy shit! This is it. This is oh my god.
Or do you guys happen to have the same goal and are completely related?
Here's a parallel for you. Have I taken credit for a neo-Nazi anti-Semitic incident that took place? Because if the answer is yes, if neo-Nazis actually engaged in an action, neo-Nazis actually, not like your fucking hallucinations,
Hello? True?
something that we all agree. Like neo-Nazis did an anti-Semitic incident and I took credit for it and I said, this is awesome. I'm glad that it happened. I made numerous videos so that they would do this. Yes,
I was
you
on
would
the
be
tier list,
valid
bro.
in saying that.
It was literally
comparison,
targeting me. I was on the tier list. Why wouldn't I respond?
Ethan,
I don't have to be a member of ADL to respond to someone harassing me. Are you fucking
to my words,
dumb?
Please listen to my words.
I'm trying, but it's just fucking lies and filth and like empty air.
From your perspective, my association as a 10-year fighter of anti-Semitism, my association from your perspective with anti-Semitism is like something that is so laughable that I don't even know how to describe. Like you're like, oh, it's a swastika sword, but then you admit that it's not a swastika sword. That's how loose this association is. But on the other hand, I can't say that you have worked alongside
That's not what you said.
In getting
you said I'm partnered
banned.
with.
That's
Partnered with. You are lying. You are rewriting. You are
not
not taking accountability. You said I'm partnered with the ADL.
Ethan, I can't take accountability for your hallucinations.
Hasan, do you think that the normal, reasonable person watching that will infer that we were just coincidentally working on the same, or that I was working directly with them?
What do you think?
What do you think the average person would conclude from saying I'm partnered with the ADL?
What do you think a normal, reasonable person would infer when they hear you,
Bro, you are
Ethan
literally
Klein,
gaslighting me.
make
It's
numerous
so
videos
obvious what you
demanding
meant.
the bans of Twitch streamers, and then after they are banned, you say, I'm glad that they got banned. I take credit for it. What would a normal, reasonable person infer from that?
I was on the tier list, dude. I was responding to them. It wasn't like a fucking it wasn't like I went out of my way to get them banned. I responded to them. I was on the tier list. There's been 3 instances, I think, of, in my opinion, very credible accusations of anti-Semitism. You've accused me of hallucinating all 3 now, which is very convenient.
No, and also because they're not credible. We are not in agreement. These are not credible allegations of anti-Semitism. These are hysterical hallucinations of a person who desperately wants all of his critics to be anti-Semites so he can feel comfortable
glad this is on record.
in the unique position that he has created for himself.
Dude, this is, guys, this is, take notes, okay? If you ever had a partner who confronted you for cheating, all right, just tell them that they're hallucinating everything and that they're being crazy and you never cheated in the first place, okay? All right, just be like Hasan, all right? Hasan is like the master gaslighter. No one gaslights better than Hasan, okay?
So glad this is on record. So you think that...
I'm glad you... yes.
He is so good at gaslighting. Holy...
You think a reasonable person would hear you say he's partnered with the ADL and not think that I was working directly with them?
I think a reasonable person will hear your own words and think that you probably worked directly inside of the ADL.
Have I ever mentioned the ADL?
Even make that inference.
Have I ever mentioned the ADL?
You took credit.
Did I ever mention the ADL, Hasan? Answer the question.
It doesn't matter. You took credit for the ban that the ADL pressured.
Do I ever mention the ADL?
Dude, it's so easy for Hasan to move on from this point. It's not hard. But his ego prevents him from doing so. All he has to do is say, my bad. It wasn't my intention. I made a mistake and I was wrong and that was disrespectful of me. My apologies. I don't want to refer you as partner with ADL. I misspoke. Right? But the reason why Hasan won't apologize is because it would hurt his manhood. His so fragile, glass-made manhood.
In my entire fucking career. Actually, I mentioned them once, but I didn't even know what they were, frankly, if you have the thing. It was even... Did I ever...
Yeah, it's a clip where you are saying, I did that shit. I'll fucking take credit for it. You know who did that shit? The ADL did. You are taking credit for something that the ADL did.
Wait,
I'm not even making that inference.
Well,
You're
they attacked
saying,
me.
Which one do you think? What do you think the average person would think in this situation when you are saying that you did that shit and it's the ADL's pressure that caused these people to be banned for such a ridiculous,
being silly. I don't care. Listen,
not anti-Semitic thing at all.
I was being silly. They attacked me. I responded. Do I know?
Do I know
who?
Silly.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, all right. I guess we can move on.
Do I
then.
think
Now
I got
you're being
them banned?
silly.
I don't know. Who knows? You know. I think that
you got a Jewish content creator alongside multiple Arab content creators banned off the platform for 30 days.
There's a reason they call him token,
and then the
my
ADL
friend.
actually reacted.
You spend time being a token, you're gonna get spent.
But it was just silly. You know, fuck them.
You want to cash in on your Jewish friends anymore? Or can we move on?
Am I what?
Would you like to cash in on your Jewish friends more, or can we move on?
Cash in on my Jewish friends.
That's right. Do you know any Jewish people that aren't anti-Zionists?
Yes.
Who?
I'm not going to review. I don't want to. They're normies.
Oh no! Oh no! Dude. Dude. It's so fucking over.
Okay.
I don't want to dox
yeah,
them.
you're lying. You're
No, I'm
surrounded.
not.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
lying.
You're absolutely lying.
No.
Dog, I live in West Hollywood. You think I'm not around Zionist Jews? What are you talking about?
Do you pass Jews on the street? Yes. Are you?
Okay, like, dude, why does he have to say Zionist with a hard Z? He could have just said Zionist, but he says Zionist. Why do you say it like that? My ninja. Why do you say it like that? That's like saying it with a hard R.
Friends with?
No, I'm friends. Yes.
Okay.
I
Very good.
am.
I don't believe
And
you.
they've treated me with much more dignity than you have, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah, because they're not on the.
Surprisingly
He really just said, oh my god, they were better Jews than you. Why can't you be one of the good Jews? Huh? Why can't you be one of the good Jews? They were better Jews than you. Why can't you just like be one of the better Jews? Why can't you just be one of the good Jews? How long does this go on for? I hope it lasts forever, because I am actually living in the moment right now. I'm having a fantastic time.
We can have a more normal conversation. I
harassment
can have a more normal
campaign. Why would
conversation
they-
with
why
them
wouldn't they?
than you.
Oh, Jesus. I'm reading some Hasan chat comments right now. I feel so bad for this guy's kids. I've seen families with substance issues, and it's never pretty. This amount of combativeness and gaslighting doesn't stop when the cameras are off. Those children have no advocacy. Hey, Dan, if you read this, I hope you stroke out. Ethan is so mentally damaged, lol. I haven't watched Ethan in a few years. I liked him when I watched him. This person seems completely unhinged compared to the Ethan I remember. There's clearly some mental health issues and or substances at play in the personality changes I'm witnessing. He's so desperate. This is pathetic. Canary Project 2. This is such a waste of time. It's a clip off. Someone on the E team get this dumb fuck a cough drop. Sabra, Sabra, Sabra. Wow, bro is so fucking brain broken. Ethan needs professional help. Hasan's moderation team. Somebody said, reminder that you can in fact support Palestine without supporting mass rapes and or Hamas at hasanabi. And that person got banned from Hasan's chat. Nice. Good one.
All right.
Good
So
one,
you
Hasan.
think that
They would most likely
just to
laugh
recap
at all of this.
Just to
if they're
recap here,
watching.
so we can move on. I mean, did the random Zionist Jews that are treated you so kindly, did they have CPS show up to their house or skulls sent to their house?
Ethan, I didn't do that.
Ethan.
This is Hasan's
I
chat?
didn't
Yeah.
say you
I
did
just
that.
read Hasan's chat.
I don't know why you're bringing that up.
I know you don't, but
that
you're
has
acting
nothing
up.
to do with me.
Part
I'm not
of your
a
shtick
supporter
I
of
know.
that.
is acting
I know,
obtuse
it's pretty
in your
bad.
pocket
Okay,
corner.
It's pretty
all right, all right.
bad.
You've dominated the conversation so far. I think we should get back to some stuff that
I agree. Let's just summarize.
No. Look, can we just get
This
back to
is
Israel?
Oh, he did. Listen, this is just Hasan's first time being the bottom, okay? Can you really blame a newbie for his first time? Come on.
Quick,
Palestine,
it's
please,
very
'cause,
quick.
like, you
I
see
just
the
want to put a cap
genocide.
on this. Just a cap.
And making these
you're doing the
inferences
thing
that
that
I
I'm
am
so
and, like,
critical of you on.
partnering
okay?
with like the ADL and
You says so. Just to put a cap on this, and we'll move on. You said I am quote partnered with the ADL, which you now claim was just a you didn't mean that I was working with them. You mean that we had the same goal. Okay, very good. We'll see how that plays. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay.
You okay?
It's interesting because you're
He's about to spit, okay? He's about to spit some shit, okay? He's about to spit some hot truth. Drop
currently
it,
doing the
Hasan.
thing that I'm criticizing you on, where you are looking at a situation that you recognize is a genocide, and your only consideration and your only concern
That's not my only concern. I
revolves
care about
around-
multiple things, my friend.
revolves. Yes, you can, but these are really stupid things to care about. Ethan.
I mean, that's easy for
And
you to say. You're the one being accused of it. Let's just let's ask the
no one-
accused how
no-
serious their crime is. Fucking brilliant.
Ethan.
O.J. Simpson, do you think that this is a serious court
Do you
case?
think that
No, I
the
don't. Well,
Sabra
fucking
hummus'
there it
shit
is. Let's
tier-
let him
Do you
free.
think that the Sabra hummus' shit tier is akin to O.J. Simpson killing someone?
No, obviously not. You're being obtuse
Then why
again.
are
The Holocaust was bad, but was the Holocaust like I'm sorry. It's like telling someone, "Hey, your dog dying was bad, but was your dog dying as bad as the Holocaust?" Got him. What the fuck? Dude, what are you talking
bringing
about?
up stupid fucking
Because you're
parallels.
you are saying that the accused, right, can dictate how serious the
Who won? We all lost. Okay, no, Ethan won.
accusations are.
Okay, all right, Ethan.
I'm
You
partnered
have
with
in
the
the
ADL.
past-
Remember what you
you
said.
have in the past talked about your pro-Palestinian bona fides. You
What?
have
What do you mean
talked
bona
about how you
fides?
gave
What does that
my
mean?
fundraiser. What?
Sorry, what do you mean by bona fides?
Like you've claimed that you are a stalwart ally of the Palestinian cause.
Correct.
You tried to also say this to Sam Cedar as well. You brought forward the fact that you had given $6,500 in your context puke that you did as a
Got him.
further
Context
indication that you
puke.
are pro-Palestinian. Even though you then turned around and actually criticized additional fundraisers that had taken place, like the Creators for Palestine charity that generated $1.3 million, including the fundraiser that you initially had given $6,500 to as a reason for why you were such a staunch ally. Why did you turn around and say that pro-Palestinian fundraisers are actually completely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things and completely useless? Do you think that pro-Palestinian charities are simply there to make yourself feel like you're pro-Palestine? Do you feel like $6,500 was enough for you to spend the rest of the year actively deplatforming pro-Palestinian content creators?
I'll answer your question. So I claimed when talking about, now, by the way, this is something I criticize you for, which is, being obtuse, mischaracterizing arguments, and basically just being a prolific liar. So here's what the conversation was about, right? I was talking about how when you're talking about activism, raising money isn't the most important thing because it can only do so much. There's other ways to do
yes, he's right here. Yes,
effective activism, like protesting, et cetera, working with Palestinian organizations. So I'm just saying, my point was not that.
But you wanted
hold
me to be
the phone. Let me
as a
finish.
virulent anti-Semite, and I've done all of those things.
My point was that not that raising money is bad or dumb or pointless, as you erroneously claim I said. My point was that it's not the most effective thing in the world, and there's other things. It's probably like the least effective form of advocacy you can do. That was my opinion.
I don't think that's the case, and I don't think that the Palestinians that
What's not the case?
those,
what I said or what I claim?
No, your claim is wrong.
Okay, that's fine.
In terms of the fundraisers not being important.
That's fine.
So we've established that you claim to be pro-Palestine, and yet you've spent all of the genocide coverage criticizing
attacking people that harass me,
fundraising, creating, working with Palestinian organizations.
I never said it's not important.
Interviewing Palestinians from Gaza.
Hasan, being an advocate for Palestine does not absolve you of criticism. Stop with the silliness.
Claiming that they are anti-Semitic. No, this does not. Because your criticisms are ridiculous. My point
I mean, that's kind of up to other people to decide at this point.
Your criticisms are in your own mind. Like, you have hallucinated an alternative.
By the way,
dude, I don't bro, the gaslighting is actually disgusting. Like, I know that this sounds like totally ridiculous or whatever, like at this point to say, because everybody sees it, but like still, like the gaslighting here is unacceptable. Like, it's actually insane. Like, gaslighting is literally his entire fucking MO. Like, gaslighting is literally like Hasan's entire strategy, right? It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's abusive.
Gaslighting, anti-Semitic trope, call that.
Like,
This is what dog whistles are. You whistle to other people, and you have it's subtle enough that you have plausible deniability, so that when you get accused of being anti-Semitic, you can call the accuser crazy, which is exactly what you're doing. You are a fucking anti-Semite, and you've been caught out 3 different times, calling me crazy for very viable, very credible examples of anti-Semitism that you should at least be able to admit are at least not insane. Maybe a misunderstanding, but not insane. But no, according to you, they're all hallucinations. So go ahead.
You know what? Ethan Klein deserves to pop off here, okay? Typically, you want to save pop-offs when you've cornered them, and I think he's sufficiently cornered him, so you deserve to pop off here, yes.
And tell me why you're not dog whistling.
We still got like 3 hours, right? I hope it goes on forever. I hope it has like 10 more hours, okay? Hella deal.
Yes, because Ethan, because people having an issue with your statements and with your coverage on, as a prominent content creator with a relatively progressive audience, your coverage has entirely focused on your own personal feelings.
Not entire.
And a lot of misplaced paranoia from people who are
There you go,
criticizing
dog whistle.
You literally think.
Can we get a whistle soundbite every time he calls me paranoid or hallucinating?
Anti-Semitism.
You got a
That's not the
whistle?
case. I used to like you. I don't know anymore. And I don't think it's because of anti-Semitism.
I definitely don't like you.
Anti-Semitism.
Let me stand on business and say I think you're a terrible person and a liar, and I don't like you at all.
I know. I still wish you well. I do. I wish you well, and I really do.
I wish
hope.
everybody well. Everybody be well.
No,
all right, let's move on. You got it. You want any more? Call me crazy or hallucinating again?
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Buy yourself a candy.
Hey, thank you, King Crimson is mad 69. Thank you for the $2. I appreciate it, buddy. Guys, be like King Crimson, okay? Please donate, okay? I love money, okay? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, King Crimson. Okay, let's fucking go.
Is that all you got?
I don't even need to do that. I think you're doing that all on your own.
We'll see.
To be fair.
Yeah, we'll see. So do you want to tell me what is your evidence that I work with or talk to or have any association with at all with Destiny?
What?
He said it.
What? What? Oh, what?
He's like, he's starting. Does that count as unemployment? No. Dude, wait. Dude, Hasan's life just flashed before his eyes. Hasan's life just, it's like, womb.
Guy that I talk about fucking obsessively 100 times a day, that is like basically like the Antichrist, the Lord Voldemort in my community. Yeah, you accuse me of working with him, knowing him, talking to him. What is your evidence for that?
Oh, thank you for asking.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Not only is there video footage of you corresponding with someone in your Discord that literally aligns perfectly with Destiny's own Discord, offering clips for you to pull.
That sounds like a stretch.
You've also used clips that are unlisted called hasanabi when making arguments about my virulent anti-Semitism.
Who gives a fuck?
From
I pulled a clip
link that came from a Destiny fan account.
So that's your proof that I work with Destiny.
None of that is relevant.
Okay.
What's relevant is your
Yeah, these are all extremely weak. These are all extremely weak. Like, no, this is not it, dude. Dude, these are like the weakest fucking reasonings ever for working with Destiny. Are you fucking kidding me?
With Destiny's podcast co-host Dan Saltman, who you featured on your context nuke.
Okay, that's a little stronger, but it's still not strong, okay? Again, it's about Destiny. It's not about Dan. Who the fuck cares about Dan Saltman?
So yeah,
I
don't think it's that ridiculous of a fucking assertion to make, especially when considering the fact that you have been corresponding with Dan Saltman, and you did, and he is Destiny's podcast co-host. And the what does he call himself? The general of the Hezbollah, I think that's what they call themselves, the Taliban.
The Taliban, you fucking moron, okay? I don't know why he's pretending not to know about Destiny's community when he incessantly spends 24/7 with full notification bells on for Destiny's community, as if he was some kind of suburban white dad watching the Super Bowl for updates.
The Hezbollah, their mass harassment operations that they engage in. So yeah, I think that is not a ridiculous fucking claim to make at all.
It's actually insane, and it's a really convenient way of discrediting me when I've never spoken to, worked with, talked about Destiny in my life.
I don't need to bring
that up. It's a really nice way of you. You know what? I think you're hallucinating, buddy.
Ooh.
I think you are you pulled a meme from his subreddit once, and
no,
there was a guy in your Discord that's also in his Discord. I think you're hallucinating.
I didn't say any of those things.
You sound fucking unhinged, dude. Are you crashing out, Hasan?
Ethan, I didn't.
Hasan, are you crashing out? Do you have friends who are aware of the condition and can help you get the help you need?
Okay, Ethan.
You're delusional.
you featured Destiny's podcast.
I said he discovered the IP ban. Is that not
with.
true? I said Dan Saltman discovered the IP ban. That's all I said. I didn't endorse.
Iked, remember this is enough for a connection to D, but Hasan using a H3 snark subreddits isn't relevant for people calling CPS and harassing Ethan. 100%. I agree.
I didn't. All I said is he discovered the IP ban. Is that true? Is that materially true?
I don't think
it
so.
is. It is.
I think someone in Destiny's community did, but it's fine. Yeah.
So how is that an endorsement?
Oh my
Ethan,
God, you wouldn't
dare.
Is this what you do whenever you're trying to avoid Ethan? Hasan,
Ethan?
Are you hallucinating?
Ethan,
Hasan?
Ethan?
Do you not correspond with Destiny's podcast co-host Dan Saltman?
I've talked to Dan Saltman, but also I don't think that that's Destiny, is it?
Yeah, no, that's just his podcast co-host.
That's crazy.
And is perfectly aligned with him and uses his community to brigade. And also has literally tried to blackmail people in Destiny's own community.
I don't really fucking care because that's not Destiny, is it?
That's not Destiny.
That he did.
True, that's not Destiny.
You
Do
are
you feel
really
like that's a good person to align with?
No.
I'm not endorsing
you now openly
him.
Admit.
I'm not endorsing him at all. I just said
That's
I've
not
spoken
Destiny.
to him.
Who cares?
No, yeah, you're not endorsing him. You're just getting information.
Have you ever
from him
spoken to somebody
use.
you don't endorse? I mean, what kind of silly bullshit are we doing here?
Certainly.
Well, there you go.
Oh
my God,
I don't
dude.
endorse. I'm speaking to one right
you
now.
talk to Dan Saltman. You're fucking outed as a Destiny's best friend.
Ethan, you're the one who admitted.
Ellie Eater, thank you for the $2.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
This sure is a moment in dramatics. TM, history face with tongue.
True. Thank you, Ellie Eater, for the $2. Guys, keep these donations, keep on going. Okay, please come in. Come in, guys. Come in, new viewers. Okay. Your Thrall, the Grinning Hunger. Nice name. Welcome. Free October. Good to see you again. Yeah. Guys, enter. We're having a field day right now, okay? I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling content in the moment. Okay, I am having a great time. Okay, guys. Okay, donate. Let's go. Okay, every donation goes to the Fuck Hasan charity. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
Now,
I said I've spoken with Dan Saltman, not that I'm a Destiny collaborator, which is what you claim, which is an outright pathetic, provably wrong lie. And this is part of your disinformation campaign to delegitimize my points without ever having to address them. And isn't that convenient? You never have to address anything I say because you can just say, Ethan's friends with Destiny. Ethan's hallucinating.
Ethan, I don't think I need to. I didn't bring up Destiny. You did.
Yeah.
And also,
because you lied about me for 2 years working with them.
2 years.
That's right. Hasan, listen.
Just a drink.
Ethan.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Pop off, Queen.
Indeed. I will, in fact, pop off as you request. Thank you, Dio, for the $5. I appreciate it. Thank you for contributing part of your retirement funds to the Foodshops retirement funds. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, okay? Thank you so much. Guys, once again, okay, keep it going, okay? We got a little train here, all right? Dio now with $5. Let's see a $10. Let's see a $5, $10. Let's go, okay? Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys.
This is kind of embarrassing
year and a half
to admit, but I defended you both to my community and in general because I thought that you were a lot more open-minded until
what have we disagreed on?
Wow.
What have we disagreed on? I'm sorry. What am I not open-minded about? What have we disagreed on, Hasan, other than me criticizing you and your friends? What have I said against the Palestinian people? Go ahead. What do we disagree on?
What we are disagreeing on is what you choose to focus on.
Does that seem
and
significant?
What you think is the major point of contention here.
Well, that's first of all, what I choose to focus on is certainly something you can critique.
A little frivolous.
But does that justify like lying about me continually for a year and a half just because you don't like where I'm focused? That seems immaterial.
Lying about what?
About me being a Destiny fan, about hallucinating, sweeping for your anti-Semitic friends. Lying about context, saying that my video's out of context.
I love how fired up Ethan is here. Well, because Ethan is finally unleashing, okay? He's finally releasing all the hatred and frustration that he has towards Hasan in this very moment. Everything from the CPS calls to the mailed skulls to everything. really, to the lies, everything. Like, he has so much pent up emotion here. It's crazy that, you know, Ethan Klein isn't having a heart attack in the moment. But it's not even like a bad heart attack, right? It's like a justified heart attack. You know what I mean?
Without watching it. Hasan.
Hasan.
Take your time.
Take your
Do
time,
you feel like your video wasn't out of context?
Absolutely
wasn't a
not.
compilation of a what 2-hour sequence of out of context clips?
You want to do this? What's out of context?
Okay.
Name one thing. Go ahead, read the chat. Someone will send you on Discord.
No. I have it readily available.
Well, I'll wait.
One of the major points that you made that I've seen through other people's coverage of it so far is that I deny rapes happening on October 7. Okay? That I deny rapes happening.
You don't want to go here, Hasan. Trust me, Hasan. You don't want to go here. You'll regret it, okay? So, welcome to the chat. Hello, buddy.
Happening on October 7. There's a clip of you when you first encounter that statement where you are actually understanding of my position until your wife stops you and says, that's inappropriate. You literally say, oh, he's saying the likelihood of rapes happening does not justify genocide, which you agree a genocide is happening.
Uncontested.
Ever since then, though, months later, you still chose
Her
to
name is
use that
Hila, by
clip
the way,
that is
Hasan.
14
I don't
seconds
know
long
why you
out of
refer to her as
context.
my wife. I find that a little chauvinistic, frankly. You know who she is. You know her well. You've begged for Teddy Fresh from her many times. So, like, yeah, you know who she is. You've written her emails asking for clothing. Her name is Hila.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so why don't you say that?
Okay.
Who goes, oh, your wife? Like, she's not. She has no. She's just like, oh.
I wasn't. Can you respond to what I was saying?
Yes, absolutely. With great pleasure, I will respond.
Why is it that you initially understood the full context until Hila stopped you and said, no.
I'll answer. Would you like me to answer? That's one example of many. Seeing your response in the totality of all the responses shows that you do deny the rapes that happened on October 7th. In fact,
the totality of all my responses.
In fact, you had promised me, and I know you would never lie to me, that you would watch the context puke with me. So why don't we pull up that bit there, and we can see how out of context it is.
Boom, do it.
Great.
Okay, by the way, okay, I know all the talking points around this. So, by the way, to say that no rapes happened is completely ridiculous, okay? In addition to women being found with their pants down, which is like the direct result of like the evidence of rape, basically, in like the vast majority of circumstances, there is also, by the way, how in the past, a lot of the time, you know, we oftentimes accept the Mongols have raped, right? We oftentimes accept that the Mongols have raided villages, pillaged treasures, and fucked every woman there, okay, forcibly, without consent, all right? But we don't ask for video evidence of these situations. We don't ask for video evidence of Mongols raping women. We don't ask for these, right?
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Ethan a cashier cause he came with receipts.
True. Dio, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you. Keep them going. Thank you guys. You guys are being very kind today. Keep them going. I love you guys. Okay. I always strive to do make the best content. Okay. All right. Anyway. Okay. So the point is, all right, is that in the past we accept that people have raped in like the vast majority of circumstances, but we never question the historian account of this. It makes no It makes no sense. It makes no sense that, you know, now you would demand such a high level of evidence for what is effectively a Mongol pillaging of a nearby village, right? Like, there's no way now that you are now demanding, you know, the same credibility of evidence for what is essentially a Mongol raid, right? So, yeah, it makes no sense, right? So, yeah. And like, what else do you find when women are found with their pants down, like after such an event, right? And by the way, the reason why it's so hard to gather witnesses for this is because they kill the witnesses. by the time they rape somebody, don't you think that maybe they would have already killed everybody that they weren't gonna rape? This is why it's so hard to gather witnesses in the first place. Like, how many videos do you think are out there? Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Someone pulling that, Dan? How you doing? I'm waiting for the link. You good?
Am I? Oh yeah, I'm great. I don't think this is going the way you perceived it to be going. But
sure. I mean, you're reading your chat. Do you think that's the most accurate way?
I'll be honest with you. I was gonna be. I was thinking about being a lot more stern initially, but
this
has turned into the last conversation that we had, where I am trying to gently nudge you in the direction of sanity.
Ethan, I want you to really understand. You're crazy. You're crashing out. You're hallucinating.
By the way, this concern trolling is also abusive behavior, okay? But I don't need, like, you guys don't need me to tell you guys that, right? Like, it's 100% like abusive behavior to say constantly, you're crashing out, I'm just concerned for you. That's not true, okay? Like, in no way at all have you displayed that kind of concern when your fan base is the one that is constantly calling CPS and harassing you, right? It's not any of this, and I don't know why he's like going back to this. Maybe it's because he genuinely believes it, but I don't think he actually believes it. I think 100% like he relishes in the suffering of Ethan Klein, 100%. Yeah.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Grape is ghee.
True. Very true, Dio. Thank you, Dio, for the $2. I appreciate you. Thank you. Guys, keep donating.
My friend, come sit over here. You know what I mean? Don't ignore the swastika. Ignore the accusations of working with the ADL with no credibility. Ignore the tier list with fucking Ben Shapiro and Ethan. Come sit here. You're hallucinating. Oh, thank you so much for. You know what? Thank you, Hasan. That's so kind of you. How fucking genuine of you to take off the baby gloves. You fucking liar.
All good points.
I mean, this is.
You are a prolific liar, bro. Where's the link? Just Control F for.
The reason, for the record, the reason why I don't like to bring Gila into the conversation is because I'm addressing my concerns with you, and I don't think that it's appropriate for me to, you know.
Yeah, but what he was talking about is don't address her as simply Ethan's wife, because that sounds demeaning. It sounds bad. It sounds demeaning, right? Like, yeah, like if I was talking to Michelle Obama, I wouldn't be saying, "Hey, hello, Obama's wife." Like, that's dehumanizing, right? To some degree, it's a little bit dehumanizing. Yeah.
Extend
well, you
the
just,
lens of criticism
that's a little
to other
silly
people.
Considering you're like, well, actually, it was Hila who influenced your opinion, the evil IDF lady.
True.
Anyway.
Okay. While we're waiting for the clip.
No, I got it. Deny the.
Well, okay.
You know, I'm kind of not surprised that, you know, he doesn't really have any kind of respect for women. Okay, like I'm not surprised. Okay, I'm not surprised that he doesn't have any respect for women, considering how he literally went to a brothel with sex trafficking suspicions, right? So, you know, like, fuck, I don't know. You know, what do I know about this?
Violent rapes that took place, that is way beyond.
It's very intentionally demeaning. He spent a lot of time with her directly. 100%. 100%. 100%. Okay? Yeah, 100%.
On the pale.
I'm grabbing another soda, but I'm hearing you. There is one.
He can't watch this.
Instance
he can't watch
in
this.
captivity.
Chair react.
That we have.
I'm not going to let you chair react to me, buddy.
True.
You grab that Dr. Pepper. I'll wait.
No, I said I'm listening to you. Don't worry. I was just grabbing another soda. Go ahead.
On the pale.
Is that there is one instance in captivity. Did you put a Hamas headband on me?
I sure did.
He's so butt mad, dude. He's so butt mad, dude.
There is one instance in captivity that we have actually gotten verifiable evidence on. Beyond that, the systematized mass rapes that Hamas dealt on October 7, not a single bit of that has been verified. And people still run with it over and over and over again.
Many young people who are simply attending a music festival.
I
Women
love
were
Maple Leaf
horribly
Rag.
raped.
I can't see myself, by the way,
As
if you're
I
showing
said
my
earlier,
giggling. You're
Israel
giggling.
had
It's so
a right,
funny.
has a right to
No,
defend
I'm not
itself.
giggling.
You
I'm
sure
saying,
are.
dude, bro, what rapes did Hamas do? What are you talking
What
about?
rapes did
The
Hamas
Stop
do?
Anti-Semitism account that considered me to be anti-Semite of the week has also been hallucinating rapes once again, doing rape fantasies once again because they're fucking mentally ill.
Hamas has committed.
That's something you go to a lot. You notice that? Call
What?
people mentally ill. Find that odd.
Ah, very progressive of him to do, right? Calling them mentally ill. Very, very progressive. Very woke.
Probably should revise that. I don't know if that's kosher for leftist values.
Horrific
Going
acts
down
of
the
sexual
I'm not exactly,
violence. And
you know, I'm not exactly doing a lot of stuff that's kosher for leftist values in
okay,
general.
so
I don't really.
so you have no problem weaponizing mental health. I
Yeah,
don't.
when someone is hallucinating, I think it's appropriate to say that.
By your
yeah.
authority, I will decide who's hallucinating. Hasan. Watch this.
Horrific acts of
Ethan,
sexual violence.
Ethan.
And
Hasan, I am so sorry. You promised that we would watch this. I pulled it up. Now sit silently and enjoy.
Okay, but I got the point. You're saying that like you're showing clips of me. You're showing clips of me saying that someone is
men and
Hasan.
boys slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the Jewish people.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
Yikes.
So that's the other part of this problem that many people that can't contend with.
Dude, making him sit through this is so funny, dude. Making him sit through this is so funny, dude.
With like,
I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to pics or it didn't happen.
There you go, Hasan. What do you got?
pics or it didn't happen.
And by the way, would you even want to see that? Like, why, like, do you even want to see that in the first place? Really? Pics of people being raped? I know, this might be a crazy thing for me to say, okay? But, like, do you really want to see that? Come on.
Great commentary, by the way. Okay.
I mean,
so,
it's pretty apt.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
Listen, non-consensual consent is hot as fuck, okay? Rape fantasies are hot as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. All right, but like, let's just be real here, okay? But these are real life people being raped. That's a completely different thing, right?
Let's talk about it. You did actually, I'm surprised, you did actually show the my findings on the UN committee report that came out.
The one that you misrepresent continually, that you fucking continually lie about the conclusion.
Report. Wait, what did I misrepresent about the
UN
UN
ahead, you
preliminary report?
Tell me what it said.
The UN preliminary report was not an investigative report, like, for example, the investigative report that came out about Israel's systematized...
By the way, I just want to say lefties are completely non-consensual, okay? They do not respect the agency of Israelis who are anti-Netanyahu, and they do not respect the agency of Palestinians who are anti-Hamas, and they do not respect the agency of any woman who has been non-consensually raped by Hamas on October 7th, okay? On all three counts, they are anti-consent, they never believed in consent, they only pretend to believe in consent for the sake of their own convenience, and they are anti-woman, and like these lefties, pro-Palestinians, are in misogynist movement, okay? They are misogynist, they are anti-woman, and they are in every single way the far right, all right, if you think about
sexual assaults that was 49 pages long.
Horrible. What a horrible thing that was.
Yeah.
Unironically.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just unacceptable.
The level of evidence in a preliminary...
Shaken, not stirred.
Chill. Nope. Disavow. Dio, thank you for $2, but chill, okay? You gotta give, you know, more PG super chats, okay? Don't, please. I don't want to get banned, okay? Thank you, though. Thank you, Dio, for the super chat, okay? I appreciate it, okay?
Report is only enough
Why'd you hard to
actually create an...
habit, okay? That's just muscle memory.
Actual investigation. The problem is Israel has denied an actual investigation to take place. Israel has told the United Nations that they are not allowed to do an actual investigation and to simply listen to what they have to say. Now, not only is Israel...
There are literally women who have said, I was raped.
Do you feel like the Israeli government lies?
Do you?
A lot?
I mean, all governments lie. I'm not going to defend Israel, though.
I agree.
You said,
I agree.
You said,
but Israel,
there's
Israel
women that come out and said,
lot, right?
I was raped.
What?
There are women on the
is there
record,
dog
on
whistle?
video,
No.
saying, I was raped.
No.
Like you're saying, wait, you're saying there are multiple women that are on the record saying I was raped.
Correct.
There is, as far as I understand,
well, you should
one instance
of
in
course,
captivity.
as far
It
as
is
you
not
understand, because you don't give a
systematized
fuck
mass
about
rape
the reality,
directed by Hamas. What?
Well, of course,
DNC,
that's as far as you can conclude, because you don't give a fuck about the truth. You just want to do propaganda,
Ethan,
remember?
Ethan.
Hassan, please, calm down.
Okay.
Jesus, dude.
I don't know why you're...
What?
Dude, chill. I was like turned on by that. What the fuck?
Behaving in such a childish manner when we are actually talking about finally some serious stuff. Okay?
Well, you know, okay.
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 In terms of the UN preliminary report and the findings, okay, there is a clear-cut lack of evidence for any forensic examination to take place due to the incompetence of the Israeli government and specifically the organization Zakah that spent most of its time in the immediate aftermath of October 7 taking bodies out of body bags and putting them into Zakah branded body bags. This was reported by Haaretz as well. They polluted the evidence pool. Okay? That's number one. Number two, numerous people that came out and offered eyewitness testimony have since then been discredited, also according to Haaretz reporting.
Which article?
I mean,
what's
I can't
the Haaretz article that accuses victims of sexual assault of lying about it? Go ahead and link me that one. And by the way, while you look for that,
no, not victims of sexual assault, Ethan. I'm using my words very carefully.
Right.
Not
of course,
victims
I remember
of
you do
sexual
that.
assault. Not victims of sexual assault. Eyewitness testimony initially provided that led people to believe that there were sexual assaults that were taking place.
Show me the source.
Were then discredited.
Show me the source. By the way, Hasan, while you look for that, I'm assuming that you're quoting the...
By the way, okay, I just want to say this sounds like terrific content, okay? Having some kind of, you know, Hasan, Ethan Klein, research sesh, okay, a little research sesh, all right? You know, that's terrific content. Give me more of that. Yes, please, okay? Haters to lovers. I'm kidding.
The UN
okay,
Representative Secretary General on Sexual Violence and Conflicts
I was
report,
just memeing,
right?
okay?
This is one everyone refers to. Now, are you aware how these kind of papers work? They do a very precise conclusion at the end that summarizes the main thesis and points driven home in the article. That's what the conclusion is. Let me read it for you. Overall, based on the totality of information gathered from multiple and independent sources at different locations, there are reasonable grounds to believe that conflict-related sexual violence occurred at several locations across the Gaza periphery, including in the form of rape, gang rape, during the October 7th, 2023 attack. Credible circumstantial information, which may be indicative of some forms of sexual violence, including genital mutilation, sexualized torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment, was also gathered.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I'm gonna walk
Are
you
they
through this real quick.
hallucinating?
No. So you just don't know what words mean. So credible circumstantial evidence. Do you know what that means?
Yikes.
It means that there's, yeah, of course.
Credible circumstantial evidence is not a substitute for forensic evidence. Credible
That's why I said Pixar didn't happen, bro.
Well, you know, this debate will just be another rape that Hasan's gonna deny. Electric guitar starts playing. Okay, all right, that's enough. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Not
You need
enough.
rape. It means that gathered. Sexualized torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment was also gathered.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I'm gonna walk you
Are
through
they
this real quick.
hallucinating?
No. So you just don't know what words mean. So credible circumstantial evidence. Do you know what that means?
It means that there's, yeah, of course.
Credible circumstantial evidence is not a substitute for forensic evidence. Credible
That's why I said Pixar didn't happen, bro.
You
need rape kits.
Prosecute.
Hasan needs
Credible
rape kits.
circumstantial evidence is not enough.
Pixar didn't happen, right?
Prosecute rape, which is precisely the reason why the Israeli prosecutors themselves have said that in the absence of a singular victim coming out, and also with all of the forensic evidence that has been tarnished already.
Show me evidence for anything you're saying.
What?
It's not. Show me evidence for anything you're claiming that isn't some unhinged freak on Twitter. Believe all women, hey? Hey, are we believing all women unless they're Israeli? Right after October 7th Hamas attack in Israel, Zaka, the disaster victim identification volunteers, were among the first civilians responding on the scene. Zaka is an Israeli rescue and recovery organization primarily staffed by ultra-Orthodox Jewish volunteers, known for their work in collecting human remains for proper burial according to Jewish law. I think what happened is, a lot of what happened is that, well, obviously you don't rape someone and then keep them alive, right? So most of them were murdered, and a lot of the forensic evidence...
I'm sending Dan the PBS article about how 2 debunked accounts of sexual violence on October 7th fueled a global dispute over Israel-Hamas war. This is from May 22nd, 2022. This is about the witness testimony that was discredited. Okay,
but so even if one account was discredited, there's many.
No, it's not one account; it's 2 accounts. But the rest
there's
of
way more than 2 accounts. What am I? What? Hey, Hasan, you know what you're doing? You're like, this girl lied about being raped, therefore all these women need to be questioned. That's actually what you're doing. You're saying Pixar didn't happen. I don't believe women if they're Israeli.
Can you point me to actual to victims that came out?
Yes.
Because as far as I understand, Israeli police have asked victims and witnesses to testify about Hamas and sexual violence in the aftermath of
Hello, what did I miss?
October 7. And it seems like their investigations were inconclusive because by the admission of the Israeli prosecution,
show me evidence of anything you're saying.
They openly said that there were no victims that came out.
Yeah, let me guess. You read it on Haaretz.
You don't wait. Do you think that Haaretz is not a credible institution of journalism at this point?
No, but you guys lean on that. You just lie about what it says because it sounds credible.
Guys? Who is you guys?
You and all of your fucking dumbass cohorts that do the same typical rhetorical tools to just say whatever the fuck you want without ever having to back it up or knowing what you're talking about in the least bit.
Well, I want like the Ethan Klein versus Hasan flow to keep going. It's a commentator thing, okay? You generally want the same topic to flow consistently sometimes, okay? But not all the time, all right?
So show me the evidence. Haaretz boy.
I sent
Swastika boy.
Narratives. And also, here is the Israeli prosecutor Moran Gitz has acknowledged that 15 months after the events of October 7, 2023, Israel has still not identified any victims in which a case can be brought against an alleged perpetrator of a sexual attack.
They're all dead.
The admission is in line with a complete lack of any credible evidence regarding incidents of sexual violence, which is particularly notable when these claimed. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this foundation is, but there is news reporting on this. I don't know why someone sent me this link of this.
Do you think what is your point? What you said doesn't change anything. You're talking about. Do you think that they raped people and then didn't kill them?
You said that there are victims. Can you give me the names of the victims?
Yes.
I will. First of all, I am not in the business of denying rape. If there are,
come on.
If there are victims that have come,
dude, come the fuck on, dude. I feel like this is like, is it really that hard to say? Like, even though I think that rapes happened, I think that we need to focus on the larger message. Like, don't you think that this is maybe an important thing to focus on? Just go like, yeah, even though I think the rapes happened, I think that we should still be focusing on like the Palestinian, children or whatever. Is it really that hard? I just don't get why you have to deny rapes of all things. Like, this is such a stupid ass hill to die on. There is no reason for him to do any of this. This is completely a misery of his own making. It makes absolutely no sense for him to be doing this. It's shameless.
Forward in this process.
I will play it for you.
As I've said,
it's not
there
hard
was
to say
an
grape is
instance
bad.
of sexual assault that took place in captivity. And it was not the systematized rape that was directed by Hamas, as the New York Times' erroneous reporting that did not meet its own standard, its own editorial standard, as a matter of fact, written by a person who literally was taken off the editorial board, taken off the actual paper for some of her insane tweets about Gaza. None of these, like, there's a lot of stories surrounding this, but I'm not in the business of fucking denying rape. So if you have
only if there's
credible
really
evidence, please present it.
Dude.
And I will admit that I'm
ready
wrong.
to
Give me the
Kermit.
name.
I'm actually ready to
there's a
Kermit.
video. Hold on.
Is the video from Screams Without Violence? Is that where you're is that where you're gonna present?
No, it's not from that. There's one recently of a woman testifying. I think it was either in the UN or to Congress. She's sitting on a bench. She's talking to a mic, and she's speaking in English.
It's funny, at the beginning of Leftovers, he was coaching Ethan on how to choose his words to avoid clippable moments that can be used against him, and here he is today. The student becomes the master.
Yeah, we'll get there. But like, yeah, I mean, what's your problem with Sheryl Sandberg's documentary?
Sheryl Sandberg has also been accused of
shaken, not stirred.
How hard is to say grape bad Hasan FFS?
He would rather have an aneurysm and burst a vein before he says that grape is bad, okay? Or even accepts that rapes happened in the first place. Thank you, Dio, for the $2. I appreciate you. Thank you for your donations. Okay, let's keep going.
Of sexual.
You played Quasimorph, pretty fun, would recommend. Oh, yeah, I haven't heard of it. No, actually, I think I have heard of it. Yeah. This is what happens when you view conflict in oppressor-oppressee. Any acts can be justified against the oppressor. Well, lucky for us, there just happens to be a very convenient Hasan clip of Hasan saying that it's morally justifiable to rape rich white women.
Harassment herself, but outside of that,
What the fuck does that have to do with what's written in her documentary?
Her documentary is basically the unsubstantiated claims that some of which were directly found to be incorrect. But not only is it unsubstantiated claims, it's just a recycling of the same Screams Without Violence, the Screams Without Words article that the New York Times wrote that didn't even meet its own editorial standard. Okay, we're having this conversation. You seemingly act like you care about sexual violence taking place against Israelis. Meanwhile, one of the hostages that actually was returned in the early stages did get raped by an Israeli fitness instructor.
You know,
I have not seen you talk about that. I have not seen you talk about the Israeli
about
pro-rape
a crime that an Israeli did unrelated to the conflict?
Israel
Do you find it
had a
interesting?
January
There's something
6th
that I
style. Israel had a January 6th style pro-rape.
You know what I find the most similar when it comes to Hasan and Asmongold is that for both of them, cruelty is the point. Your rape experience never happened. You made all of that up in your head. This brown person, guilty. No due process. Cruelty is the point. Cruelty is just straight up the point.
Riot, where a bunch of rabid right-wing.
Do you think I'm defending this? Why I'm not defending this.
The prosecutor's office and forcibly, with guns, took out 6 concentration camp prison guards from the Sderot facility. That
and by the way, I just want to say this. In my humble opinion, in my most sincere opinion, I actually do believe that Hasan and his cohorts are functionally far right, in my opinion. Like, I don't know why we're pretending they're some kind of progressive lefties, because they're not progressive lefties at all. Right? They're not. They're so anti-consent. They're super anti-consent, right? Like, they're more anti-consent than child marriage supporters. Like, they take away other groups' autonomy. They take away other groups' like way of choosing things. They take away like any kind of responsibility or anything, right? These people are not progressive people. They're far-right lunatics, right? Just like MAGA. Yeah. Yeah, Hasan also believes in re-education camps, and he's not willing to discuss the Uyghur genocide. So, like, why the fuck are we pretending they're progressive lefties?
Actually raped
Here, listen
numerous
up.
Palestinians on camera.
Are you done grandstanding?
Footage,
Here's a
including
victim.
one that they raped to
Are
death.
you done? Here's a victim you asked for. Here we go. This is from, I think there was an even more recent one than this, but where's the audio? Fuck. Hold on, let me unmute.
Unable to move and had to ask for permission to use the bathroom. In that house, I was sexually assaulted by the Hamas terrorist who had guarded me. He forced me to go to the shower and entered the room, pointed his gun at me. He was breathing heavily and had a monstrous beast-like face. He meticulously planned his assault, scheming and waiting for the moment to have his way. He kept asking me private sexual questions.
Hasan is 100% going to focus on the beast-like face. Pre-watched, okay? Pre-watched. Hasan's 100% going to focus on that, okay? All right, we'll see. We'll see if I'm correct, okay?
While sitting next to me in his underwear, lifting my shirt, touching me, and constantly asking me when my period would be over.
Sorry, just to butt in here. Is she
you-
lying
wait,
yet or
hold
no?
on.
Is she lying or hallucinating?
Ethan, have I ever said that rapes did not take place?
Well, you
at
see-
least according to one credible personal testimony in
Oh my
captivity,
God,
not on
really?
October 7, but in captivity.
Kind of, yeah. Yes.
Over.
You're doing it right now.
What do you mean?
I knew
kind of?
exactly what he was
Ethan,
planning to
Ethan,
do.
You literally
and yet I couldn't do
featured-
anything to prevent
Wait, pause it for a second.
No.
I was
Listen to what she has
utterly
to say,
helpless.
Hassan.
When the
Ethan,
assault
I
was
don't
over.
Hassan, don't
disagree with
silence
this.
her. Let
You
her fucking
literally
talk.
Wasn't
mentioned
even
me.
allowed
No, because you're acting like this never happened, that it's exaggerated, that
mentioning my
everybody's lying,
acknowledgement
that
in the
Israelis
video
are just
that you
inherently
played.
evil monsters that are responsible for everything bad that's ever
Ethan,
happened.
you
Listen to her.
acknowledged-
Cry
Ethan,
or to be
you
sad.
Listen to her
know.
words.
I had no one to comfort me and was forced to act nice
Listen to
the
my
person who had just
words.
sexually
Listen to this
assaulted
victim.
me
Show her
in the
some
most
respect, Hassan.
horrifying way.
Oh, it's so gross
Not a
the way
day
you're
goes
doing
by
this.
that I don't think about
Yeah, it's
what
gross.
that terrible man did to
It
me.
is. You're
We were held
you're
in such
Show
inhuman
respect, bro.
conditions.
brother. That
no
is
person,
fucking
no person
gross.
should ever be subjected
Dan,
to
pull
such
the fucking
brutal and
plug on this.
ruthless
Holy
treatment.
shit.
Now,
You really have no problem speaking over a rape victim when they're Israeli.
Dude, you don't give a fuck about rape. Look, what are you doing? Look at what you're doing. I never said that no one ever got sexually assaulted in
First
captivity
male
in the
rape
hands
survivor of
Hamas
Hamas on
militant.
October
I
7th.
literally said in the video,
A man
in the
who was
video
stripped naked
that
and
you
raped by
showed
Hamas on
from
October
your
7th
context nuke,
has revealed
in the
for the
video
first
that
time
you
how he
showed
was spat
from
on
your
and
context
humiliated
nuke.
as his murderous rapist laughed. The victim, only identified as Initial D, is the first man to speak about the sexual assault he and others experienced when Hamas elite
I like how he chose the username Initial D. Sorry.
the Nakba unit massacred, kidnapped, and raped innocent people enjoying the Supernova music festival. They pin you down to the ground. You try to resist. They take off your clothes, laugh at you, humiliate you, spit on you.
I like that Ethan is louder than Hasan always. That's a good debate strategy, by the way. Yes, it might seem a little slimy, but it is a strat, okay? Technically.
Said the victim who's hold on.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to my
They
words.
touch my
very
private
carefully,
parts, they
because
rape
you're not going through this in a dignified way, and I think it's very gross. What you're doing here is simply weaponizing
Bro,
a victim
you are so
as a
pathetic.
fucking prop. A victim that I also acknowledged. Okay?
Silence.
And you know
In
I
new
acknowledged
footage,
it because you posted it in your video that
Here it
you
is.
just showed me.
Here's the clip.
Reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
You're doing it matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were
Dozens
in
of
hiding
testimonies.
and heard.
Oh
or
yeah.
Ethan,
Are you
in the
denying
beginning,
that?
You said,
And each-
in the beginning, I'm going to use my words very carefully
there's
here.
more
In the
stories
beginning,
coming
you
out.
said
There's
on
a
October
UN
7th,
report.
there were numerous victims of
sound about
sexual
even? Okay,
violence
fair enough.
that you said, not me, you said that there
Sorry.
were numerous victims of sexual violence that actually came forward. So I ask you for names of the numerous victims of sexual violence
Showing you
on
people.
October 7th. Because
wait, hold on,
I
hold on,
never
hold on.
said that
You're
there
saying
was no
only-
sexual
wait, what?
assault that took place.
Wait,
I,
you're
as a
saying they
matter of
have to
fact,
have been on
looked
Oct-
at that
what?
report. I looked at that same UN report and said that there was valid, credible, firsthand account, firsthand testimony on sexual assault.
I
that
wish
took
you
place
had the
in
energy
captivity.
you
That
have
was not on October
for
7th.
the Israelis raping people as I wish you had the same energy for the fucking Palestinian terrorists raping people. I wish you had the same energy.
I can't invent rapes. You have not given.
Right. By the way, okay. By the way, I just want to say, like, it's not just about what information that you're acknowledging, right? It's also about whether or not you're reciprocating with the same kind of energy. If you're not reciprocating with the same kind of energy, then it does sound like you're giving one kind of different preference, right? Like, yeah, like I would say like even energy reciprocation matters here, right?
Me any names? What are
I'm
you
showing
talking
you
about?
people and names. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What's with my
to
people
deny
and
the
names?
suffering
I don't
and trauma of
understand.
the victim.
If there are
Just
victims,
because you need your heroes.
say
You know what?
believe women.
This is not going anywhere. Let's just move on. Yeah, let's just.
What do you mean? You can't just
I mean,
let's
I gave
just
you
move
two.
on from this. This is a major point of contention. You have falsely
just
smeared me
exhausted.
as a rape denier when you yourself, the one evidence
You deny
the
mass
one
rapes happened, and you're doing it right now.
The instance of sexual
I showed
violence in
two. I
captivity
just showed you
that
two.
we know of up until this
Just
point.
showed you two.
You and I both agree on.
I showed you
know
two.
that I agree with that. You know that I've talked about it. You know
No, you
that I've
deny mass
acknowledged
rapes
it,
happened,
and yet
not that rapes happened.
what?
You deny that mass rapes happened, not that rapes
Yes.
happened. Listen to my words.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do
good.
deny
Well, there
it
you go.
Because there is no evidence. And
I just
for
showed
the
you
record,
two.
The clips that you used, ironically
Actually, I
enough,
showed
the
you
reason why I
three.
say it's out of context is because at that point, I personally took a position where I said very carefully and very deliberately that mass rapes that are directed by Hamas did not happen. There was no evidence for this whatsoever.
4 survivors told authorities they were sexually assaulted on October 7th. Report. First-hand account of such crimes have been rare, as most
And
victims
not
were
only-
killed. Hassan. Report
Do you
follows
feel-
earlier
Wait,
testimony from a
wait.
man
Okay.
who said he was raped by terrorists at the Nova Festival. 4 people have told authorities that they were sexually assaulted by terrorists on October 7th. Channel 12 reports. On Thursday, adding to a growing body of evidence of the systemic sexual assault committed by Hamas. Unlike most of the previous evidence of sexual assault on October 7th, which was largely based on eyewitness testimony, the Channel 12 report is notable because it is based on firsthand accounts of victims. You can yawn all you want. Firsthand testimony of such
yawning.
crimes has been rare because the victims have been killed. Dipshit.
Okay, Ethan,
They
do you
fucking
think
kill
when
them.
someone-
According to
do
the report,
you
4
think-
individuals approached the
Do you think
welfare
when
minister
someone is
with their
murdered
account.
that there is
Sorry,
no
Hassan.
way to actually examine?
Sorry, talk about
Do you
being
think that when-
gross.
do you
Listen to
think
these
that
victims.
When someone is murdered, there's no way to do forensics evidence
Bro,
to actually
you know the
conclude,
fucking answer to that.
actually conclude
because
that
you
person
know
was
that
sexually
Jews,
assaulted.
you know that the
Dude. What the fuck? Dude, he needs to chill the fuck out. Like, how could you be this evil? Like, what the fuck? Like, he's actually being evil right now. No? Like, I feel like he's actually legitimately being evil. What the fuck?
religious organization that is
What
first
the
responders that you cited has a policy of burying the
Dude,
bodies to avoid
chill.
disgracing them. That's
Ethan, you
what
just
happened.
said dozens of victims came out in that
I'm
article,
reading
and I
you.
don't know
What are
where
you
that article
doing,
is
bro?
from.
I'm
You said
showing you the
dozens of
evidence
victims
that
came
you're
out
wrong
in that
right
article.
now. According to the report, 4 individuals approached the welfare ministry with their accounts of what happened to them during the Hamas onslaught, which saw blah, 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 1,200 people killed and 250 kidnapped. The report followed a separate Channel 12 story on Wednesday that provided firsthand testimony from a man who said he was raped by terrorists at the Supernova, where hundreds of people were killed. Are these all lying? There are 5 people here. There's 3 that approached the ministry.
By the way, again, like I said before, all right, I've been correct on this entire time, okay? These people are anti-consent, okay? I've said this again and again. Do you think that this is the behavior of somebody who is pro-consent? Do you seriously think this is the behavior of somebody who's pro? When Ethan Klein is trying to present with him evidence of the rapes happening, right? Like, and then Hasan is trying to go, la 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 la. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay, if I can't hear you, then it must. The evidence doesn't exist. Do you really think this is a feminist? Or do you think this is somebody who's gonna non-consensually plug his penis into the nearest porn star that he finds?
And 1 man who said he was raped. Are these all liars?
I don't know. I don't think they are. I have
Okay,
no
so then
reason
what
to
the
believe
fuck
that
is
they
your
are. But
point?
from everything that I have seen, from everything that I've read on this, and I have read extensively on this,
Oh my
as
God.
far
Of course
as
you did.
forensic examination has been concluded, there is no evidence, no hard evidence of sexual assault. And I will give you a
just
clip
read
from
four
a
fu-
Haaretz article
This is so
that was
exhausting, bro.
posted by
Uh-oh,
Lisa
here comes the Haaretz article.
Rozovsky.
I
Wait,
just
why
read
are
you
you
firsthand
discounting-
testimony
I'm
of
using-
4 people. What are you doing? You're saying that you're not believing the victims.
Ethan,
You're asking
it's
for
not that I'm
pics or it
not-
didn't
wait,
happen.
It's not that I'm not believing
Where
the
did you
victims.
said where's
I'm
their
saying that
bodies?
Since,
Pics or it
since
didn't
what you
happen?
have mentioned, since
You're
the thing
saying
that
pics
you
or it
mentioned,
didn't happen.
okay?
Right?
Since the article that you mentioned came out, there have been further prosecutions on this. Why have they not led to any real prosecution?
They're dead. They're
No,
fucking
that's not
dead, you moron. What do you mean?
First-hand testimony in this
They
regard.
killed all the fucking Hamas operatives in
You?
Israel.
I killed them?
What? What are you?
Why are you saying you
okay?
killed them?
What is happening?
I said they. Why the fuck would I say you killed them? That's insanely stupid. Are you okay?
Dude, okay, all right.
Hallucinating.
True.
Are you crashing out? Go ahead.
Maybe I misheard you. I'm pretty sure you said you killed them.
Sometimes when you're under stress, you can mishear things, but that's okay. I understand.
It might be. I might be my mistake. I have you on much lower volume because my volume is very low.
Okay, fair
so
enough.
that's
Fair
part
enough.
of the
It's a
reason why-
misunderstanding.
That's part of the reason why I do ask over and over again what you're saying.
That's fine. I understand. I want people to hear what we're saying, so that's totally fair.
If you're saying,
are you
if
done,
you're
or you
saying
want to
he's
keep going?
gaslighting, you just clip it and send it to me, chat. It's that simple. Okay. And if you probably said it by mistake, even if you did, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, we done with this one?
Okay. No, we're not done with this
Okay,
at all.
Go ahead.
Because
I just read 4
Because the
firsthand.
question I have for you, is very simple. Okay.
Oh, if I said you, I misspoke. That's my bad. By the way, I may have actually said you.
Fine. It's fine.
I apologize.
You misspoke.
I didn't mean
don't
that.
care.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I just want to make sure.
Let's get back to the actual main point of contention here.
Mm-hmm.
The liars. Pixar didn't
There
happen.
have been no rape allegations filed.
Hasan, this man went to Diddy parties. Okay. Actually, yes. So there is a minor controversy that happened because apparently Hasan actually did attend some P. Diddy after party, like unironically.
In the October 7 attacks. Not one.
Yeah, that
Okay.
happened.
And this is from
So what?
Ynet, speaking to Moran Gatz, who
gives a
I
fuck?
posted about earlier. Moran Gatz is the Southern District Prosecutor's Office in Israel. Okay. She was a member of the Team 7110, responsible
that
for
was
cases
whatever.
involving captured Palestinians.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, like, it's not important, okay? Like, the P. Diddy thing is not important, but it's funny, okay? It's funny.
In connection with the October
Okay.
7th attacks on investigations related to sexual violence. She says, in the end, we don't have any complainants. What was presented in the media compared to what will eventually come together will be entirely different, either because the victims were murdered, okay, this is what they're saying, or because women who were raped aren't willing to expose it. That she excludes here another explanation, says Drop Site News, that no rapes occurred. We approached women's rights organizations and asked for cooperation. They told us that no one had approached them. There were parents who reached out to organizations asking what to do if something happened to their daughter, but they didn't reveal the abuse. So the question I have for you is this, okay? The question I have for you is this. What
Are you
am I
done?
supposed to do in the situation when there are no victims that have come
4
forward? and the
victims just gave
speculation is that
firsthand
the
testimony.
victims
I read it to
probably
you.
died, but there's no
Right.
forensic examination.
Pixar didn't
there has
happen.
been no justice for these victims in
Pixar didn't
Israel
happen.
on October 7 due to the fact that the government completely
I'll crack open a root
ruined.
beer.
Okay. The government completely ruined any sort of forensic examination that could have taken place. There is no way
For
to
firsthand-
actually.
are you
there is no
actually,
way
like-
to actually bring justice to these victims. Your assessment on this is so off base.
Hasan, are you
because
listening?
You think
4
you
firsthand
think-
victims. I just read it to you.
Okay, but
Let's.
what
You know
I'm
what?
giving
Let's,
you
you're
is
right.
the Israeli
You know what,
prosecutor's
Hasan? You're
office
right. Let's
own
err on the side
statement.
of these
If there are
victims
victims
lying.
then, why are
Let's
there-
err
why
on the
have
side.
they
No,
not?
you're totally right. This is the progressive way. Let's err on the side of these people lying instead of believing them. Let's do that. And
No,
yeah, they're all
I'm
lying.
not saying that they're lying. I'm telling
Yes, you are.
my confusion on this comes from the fact that
it's not confusing. It's obvious. Most of this shit happened, were killed, and it's a religious part of this first responding unit that they bury the bodies immediately to avoid humiliating them. It's all explainable.
What?
Yes. If you don't know that, then you are like woefully misinformed. Which just
dude, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Oh, it doesn't matter. There has to be a forensic examination.
Pixar didn't happen. They bury the body.
No, not Pixar. It didn't happen. You don't think that Pixar
didn't
deserve justice? What's wrong with you? Do you don't think these victims deserve justice? Why did Israel refuse an outside investigative committee?
How do you explain these 4 accusers?
Under normal circumstances,
how do you explain these 4 accusers?
Or a third party,
how do you explain these 4
and conduct an investigation.
How do you explain the 4 accusers?
I don't know.
Okay.
Why?
By the way, okay, like Hasan doesn't deserve the good faith, but could there possibly be rape accounts that have been completely hallucinated and made up? Yeah, totally. There could have been, rape accounts that could have been completely made up. Okay, sure. But the thing is that when you have so many eyewitness testimonies and you have so many reports of these kinds of things, and it is consistent with what Hamas does, and it's consistent with everything, and the evidence is so overwhelming, except for like, direct, a lot of direct video evidence, I guess. Again, right? Like, yeah, like it's just so hard not to believe the fact that women have been raped, right? That's why I don't believe shops, Tio. True. You're anti-capitalist. That's why you don't believe shops.
How do you explain the
let's err on the side of them lying.
4 accusers? My information is more relevant because it's new. It's newer. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I
guess we're at an impasse here. I mean, listen, Hasan, we're at an impasse. Can we move on?
Something that I don't know about when the prosecutor, do you think the Israeli Southern District prosecutor actually did not examine the testimony given by these victims?
If you don't know what happened in the 4 accusers, why are you speaking so confidently?
Because I'm speaking
you're a liar.
About
you're a propagandist and you fucking hate Israelis. Can we move on, please? This is obviously at an impasse.
No.
Oh my God! I'm just trying to consider the audience. Everybody wants something else. I'm telling you, dude. This is exhausting.
You have claimed falsely that I do not recognize the testimony of a sexual assault that took place in captivity.
Yes,
that was false.
Yep,
do you
admit
was false.
That? Yep, she lied. It was false, etc.
No. It's a falsehood that you claim that I don't recognize that. Do you admit that?
Yes, 100%. Can we move on?
Wait, so you're admitting that you falsely smeared me as someone who is denying.
If in an alternate universe the Hamas were known for being incredible like feminists, like if for some reason Hamas's philosophy is that they totally respect women's autonomy, then maybe we can raise some questions, okay? But as far as I'm concerned, they're a fundamentalist Islamic group that, believe in the fact that Muslims should have multiple wives, okay? And the fact that women are basically subhuman breeding machines. So, like, what exactly is so hard to believe here? That's really the right question to ask here.
A verifiable evidence, verifiable claim of rape from a first-hand account, and it's not from October 7th.
Okay, yes, I'm smearing you. Can we move on, please?
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
All right.
Can you explain this tweet to me? This is your tweet, and I'd like you to summarize it for me. Here it is. You said, go ahead, you can read it for me and explain the picture.
I can't. I don't know where it is.
So, you can't see it?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, very good. I guess it's just a little delay for him, Dan? Or?
No, I can see it. Bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper. Great.
What's the picture?
This is Zone of Interest. You're familiar, yes?
Explain for the audience what this picture entails.
This is Zone of Interest, which is a Oscar award-winning movie depicting the banality of evil during a literal Holocaust taking place, the monotony of the day-to-day existence, the beautiful garden.
And your implication
that,
is what?
Rudolf Hess and his family put together.
And your,
your
implication
in the backdrop, you can see there
what?
is a concentration. There's a concentration.
What do you think of the end of that argument? Good or bad for Hasan? Which part? Okay, personal account from my experience in Afghanistan. Women are for reproducing and men and animals for pleasure. Certain areas of Afghanistan are hell on earth. Yeah, sure. I might have missed it. What do you mean end of that argument?
Okay.
Okay, very good.
All right.
Can you explain this?
Like, did he even give an argument here? Like, he basically just says like, oh yeah, here's a bunch of, you know, loose experiences that, you know, may or may not have happened. I don't know that much about the UN reports, okay? I don't know that much about the UN reports, okay? All I know is that it's fucking common sense, okay? What else can I say, right?
Tweet to me. This is your tweet, and I'd like you to summarize it for me. Here it is. You said, go ahead, you can read it for me and explain the picture.
I can't. I don't know where it is.
So, you can't see it?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, very good. I guess what's the is just a little delay for him, Dan? Or?
No, I can see it. Bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper. Great.
What's the picture?
This is zone of interest. You're familiar, yes?
Explain for the audience what this picture entails.
This is Zone of Interest, which is a Oscar award-winning movie depicting the banality of evil during a literal Holocaust taking place, the monotony of the day-to-day existence, the beautiful garden.
And your implication
that,
is what?
Rudolf Hess and his family put together.
And your
implication
in
the backdrop, you can see there is a concentration. There's a concentration camp, Auschwitz.
Your implication
and, there's
to
a train
me
that
is what?
Most likely inferred to be sending.
This
Jews
is the
into
clip you're
concentration
responding
camp.
to. Hold on. Like it's completely based on my. I actually don't know where it is, but I said we know what it was. I just said Israel proper, right? I said my lived experience in Israel proper.
Yeah, can you
explain
play the clip? Play the clip.
It's 2 minutes, and I don't know where this happens. If somebody can find out.
No, play the clip. Play the full thing. We have time. I'm not going nowhere.
Well, let me see. Yeah, I mean, I want to watch it too. It's just.
I know you do.
Okay, the Independent International Commission of Inquiry on the Occupied Palestinian Territory released an in-depth report. Okay, you know, because I don't like the answer common sense that I just gave, okay? Because I believe in evidence. All right, so the Independent International Commission of Inquiry on the Occupied Palestinian Territory released an in-depth investigative report on 12th of June 2024, which found that both Hamas and Israel had committed sexual violence and torture along with intentional attacks on civilians. The report was created by information compiled from interviews of victims, witnesses, open-sourced items, forensic medical records, and satellite imagery. Israel had previously announced its refusal to cooperate with the inquiry and rejected the allegations. The commission found that Palestinian forces were responsible for incidents indicative of sexual violence at the Re'im Festival and the Nahal Oz military outposts, as well as several kibbutzim. These incidents include the physical and sexual abuse of female abductees and sexualized desecration of corpses, both male and female. It found Hamas targeted women whose bodies were used as victory trophies by male perpetrators and put on public display, either on the streets of the Gaza Strip or online. Furthermore, the report concluded that the acts of sexual violence on 7th of October were not isolated incidents but perpetrated in similar ways in several locations and by multiple Palestinian perpetrators. The report concluded there is a pattern indicative of sexual violence by Palestinian forces during the attack, and that Hamas and other militant groups were responsible for gender-based violence by willful killings, abductions, and physical, mental, and sexual abuse. Okay, there you go. So it does actually, listen. All right, there you go. Okay, yeah, I mean, there you go. There's the evidence. Cool.
Let's see here. I'll just play it. Oh, this is a clip from the critically acclaimed Content Cop. How's that working out?
Critically acclaimed.
You think Ian's happy he made that video?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't talked to him about it.
I mean, he put out a really big video. I mean, I would be stoked.
I don't know why you're asking me about what iDubbbz is thinking, but I mean, I assume, I mean, it performed pretty well. I think it doubled your video. So
yeah, I mean,
it's not that
I think
bad.
if anything, I think it just means that more people are interested in me than you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I believe that for sure.
Very good.
I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people, some falsely and some for decent reasons, wants to.
Do you want to look at the like
see
ratio?
Someone put you down a peg. It's probably the reason why there's a lot of people watching this conversation as well.
Do you want to watch the do you want to watch the like ratio on this? Damn.
The like ratio on this.
That's correct, my friend. Here it is.
Wait, what? Ethan, play the video. This is also been reported even by your favorite. What is it? Nicholas Eat Oreos.
My favorite.
To be false.
Okay. Well, here.
The dislike metric
let's
is
watch
not
it.
correct.
Let's just watch it.
Why am I arguing on behalf of Ian's the video's performance? I don't give a fuck. Come on, play the video, dude. Come on, Jesus Christ. Play the fucking clip.
I mean, it is ironic that he came and did this whole show of doing it with you, and it like just completely humiliated him. I think that's kind of funny and interesting, but I'll play the clip.
Not on Leftovers. He's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you. Are you denying? Hold on, I'm sorry. His entire creator clash is in ruin. The event is going to be fucking absolutely canceled. He's probably not even going to be able to reimburse most of the fighters for the time they trained. How is that not a train wreck?
Ethan,
I'm just saying.
I am not iDubbbz. I don't care about your petty vendetta against iDubbbz. Play the
You were in the video.
clip.
Guys, how I see Israel. Because
You're
you
in
don't
the
see
video.
that when you listen to Hasan and you hear all
He's
these
so
fucking
mad.
Yes, you ruined a charity event. I hope you're proud.
Oh my God, bro! You have no idea what you're talking about.
He's now talking
I'm
about
talking
it on
about
his podcast.
Israel proper.
What I
Well,
want to
too
do is
many
And you're
overlapping
showing
voices.
headlines
Too
about
many
Gaza.
overlapping voices.
I literally say in this clip that it's not has nothing to do with the conditions of Gaza and the conditions
You mean
of the
Gaza?
West Bank, which I consider
You
to
mean
be like
Gaza?
apartheid.
Sorry.
Like
I'm sorry.
it's completely based on my lived experience of 5 years living in Israel. My lived experience, bro. You are so fucking out of line. You have no idea. How do you have the confidence to make this video? Again, I don't know where it is, dude. The phrase.
show you guys how I see Israel. Because you don't see that when you listen to Hasan.
Israel blocks, and he shows these headlines. Israel again blocks Gaza aid. Again, I'm not talking about Gaza, which I say clearly in this clip, but go on.
And you hear all these fucking mega lefties talking.
Israeli authorities block healthcare to Gaza. Again, I'm not. Do you think that I'm talking about walking around Gaza? When I say how great multicultural it is,
We
did
never
you think
defended
that?
how Israel attacked Gaza since October 7th. Not even
Shield
one
your eyes.
once. We never
I think that's the-
co-signed what they did.
Is that not the point he's making, though?
It already happened. I said it. Oh. No, okay. Well, anyway, I said the phrase I said is that my experience in Israel proper.
What happened after that? When AB chimed in, I wonder. Anyway, listen.
Who knows? I mean, you like to make inferences based on.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
You know what's so funny? You know what's funny?
crazy,
it's all
'cause it
on the
felt like it
audio.
was
Go
both
listen
AB
to it,
and
dipshit.
Olivia
It's on the
that
audio.
were-
You don't know what you're talking about. You're a pathological liar. You are a propagandist. It's on the audio. You can go listen to it if you gave a
both
fuck.
AB and Olivia were chiming in. I don't know why we buttoned it. I'm just asking. You know, it's fine. It's not that big of a
What
deal.
are you implying
All
here?
right.
What are you implying with this photo?
What photo? Oh, with the photo.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's begin. This is.
Bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper. Wait, what is he implying with this photo? Okay, maybe I'm just stupid. I don't get this.
Going to finally
I'm
cause us
just
to
being
talk about
moronic.
Israel-Palestine.
Bro, just explain what you're
By
trying
your
to
own
say.
admission, there is a genocide that is taking place in the Gaza Strip. By your own admission, there is also an apartheid structure both
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
know
West
either.
Bank, but I don't think you believe that there's an apartheid happening within Israel proper by your own terms.
I don't think
Do
it's.
you
I don't.
feel-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So do you feel as though Israel is somehow inseparable from both of these actions?
No, but obviously the conditions are different in Israel proper versus the West Bank versus Gaza. Like
you
West,
feel
I
like
mean, the
you
West
go
Bank
into
has
Israel
checkpoints. It has
amidst
like different areas of zones of interest. People don't have freedom of movement, so obviously that's more apartheid-like than the main body of Israel.
Yeah. don't you feel like you going to Israel proper would actually resemble someone going to, you know, someone going near Auschwitz and being like, well, it's actually beautiful there. It's
Not at all.
that big of a deal.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it. Okay. What the clip is talking about, okay, Israel proper, okay, is like not the West Bank, but like that Israel. I think maybe what he's talking about is that he's basically saying that's not Israel, that's Palestine, like Palestine proper, that Israel is a fake nation. Maybe that's what he's referring to.
No.
I'm not sure.
It's multicultural. Oh, you don't see the comparison.
Well, I mean, where
Jonathan
Israel?
Glazer,
You
who
mean in
made
Tel Aviv?
this-
So you're saying
Jonathan
that
Glazer, who made this video, Jonathan Glazer, who made this Oscar-winning movie, does see the comparison.
So hold on, your
He
criticism.
said as much.
You're
in
saying
his Oscar
all I
award,
said was my
winning
lived
speech.
experience in Israel proper. Is the problem that Israel proper? That sounds racist or something?
No, I think you're trying to present Israel as a beautiful multicultural land when it is directly doing a genocide across the border boundary, okay? And
Yeah,
also
I
is
make
an
a distinction.
apartheid on a good day.
Yeah, I make a distinction for sure.
You can't.
I mean, I lived there
Israel
for 5
proper
years in Tel
from the
Aviv.
crimes that is happening 6 miles away, Ethan.
I think he's trying. He's saying how Palestinians are treated in West Bank and Gaza and in Israel like the Jews in Auschwitz. Okay, they're both treated in bad conditions, but one is way worse. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, like Auschwitz is the worst of the worst. Like I don't think that's comparable. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's my point. So
6 miles from
saying-
where I live in Tel Aviv? 6 miles from what?
I don't know how many miles away it is from.
It's a lot
exactly
further
where
than
you
6
live in Tel
miles.
Aviv.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know how many miles away it is. That's not the point. It's
No, so you're
close enough that you can see it. If you go to Sderot, you can watch it.
The
They call
point
it
you're
the night
making is
cinema.
that everybody living in Israel is living next to a concentration camp.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
That's
so
it.
and
Oh, that's
so
the
I
point.
said, bro really said my lived experience in Israel proper. And you're saying that I am a Nazi officer living casually and enjoying life as people are
No, you're not directly a Nazi officer.
Well, that's what this says.
No, Ethan, you're taking it a little bit too literally. I think the point there with that imagery is not that it's a
Why
Nazi
did you choose the
officer,
one with the
is
guy
that-
standing in it?
Well, I'm actually interpreting the work of art in the exact same way that Jonathan Glazer, who made this piece of cinema, interpreted it. The entire point is you can have a
Hasan
wonderful
thought this
life
tweet
as
was
an
art? I
American
don't know.
Jew in Israel.
For me, I don't really get this point. I mean, maybe someone can explain this point for me, but I'm a little bit lost here on this specific point only, okay? The mass rapes, I can get, okay? But this specific point, I have no idea what's being talked about here.
Israel. Of course you can have a wonderful life in Israel. That's the point. Because Israel is a ethno-religious supremacist apartheid state that is currently doing a genocide. It is the entire underlying principle of why this nation state was founded. That's what it was founded on. It was founded on exterminationist principles
definitely agree.
of the indigenous Palestinians, which you seemingly agree to.
Yeah,
So yes,
explain to
if
me,
you
I'm dumb.
actually think Israel is
I'm
doing a
stupid,
genocide,
okay?
then it comes across as rather odd that you would go to Israel to show how multifaceted and how wonderful Israel is.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, for the genocide point specifically, I mean, for the purpose of this debate, they both agree that it's genocide. But for me, I would actually contend on the fact that it's genocide, by the way. Like, I would actually not agree that it's genocide. But yeah, you know, that's just me.
It would be exactly like someone saying, "Oh, you don't understand. I'm German. I am going to Poland. I'm going to go to Warsaw. I'm going to go to Auschwitz.
It's
and
not
I'm
the
gonna
same
show
at
you
don't know
all,
what
dude.
how
parallels
wonderful
are.
Auschwitz looks like because it's
okay,
German
thank you
territory.
okay, I lived in Tel Aviv. I worked beside Palestinians. I worked with them. I took the
He is saying that Ethan has a nice life in Israel, living near a concentration camp, just like the Nazis did. I mean, okay. What the fuck? I just don't think it's that bad of a tweet, I guess. I don't know.
bus with them. I walked around the streets with them. I went to the restaurants. They worked with me in my businesses. It's not what people expect. That's my point. You don't see.
Yeah, that would be lying. That would be lying to your audience about
lived
the
there for 5
actual
years.
totality of Israel. You want to talk about my totality of anti-Semitism inferred off of like hyper specific, narrow definitions that you have invented in your mind. Talk about the totality of a country that you recognize.
Ellie Eater, listen, I don't really quite know like what language you speak most of the time, but you know, I'm trying to do it. Like if Israel did it, we wouldn't be the right wing leading gov in Israel though, Geno Slid of the Palese. Okay, you know what, never
Recognizes
mind.
doing genocide. You think it's appropriate? You think it's appropriate to go to Israel while there is a fucking genocide going on?
I mean,
by your own
you did a
admission
show with me and you
show
consider me
how
your friend, and you knew that I was
multifaceted
apparently a
and
Nazi
beautiful
officer
Israel
that whole
proper
time.
is? What?
I said you were considering me a friend. You did a show with me. You knew I lived in Israel that whole time. I'm surprised you were willing to work with a Nazi officer.
I also have interviewed members of the Knesset, as a matter of fact, like Ofer Kasif. I have interviewed Israelis from the anti-Zionist youth movement Mezarvot, Israeli members. Israeli Jewish citizens that have refused service, refuseniks. I don't have an issue with people that have lived in Israel. Some of the reason why I know the total and utter depravity of the inception of Israel comes from Exeter University's very own Ilan Pape. His writings are what guide me. Of course, I don't have an issue with people that have lived in Israel and no longer live in Israel, or even still live in Israel, as a matter of fact. As long as they are anti-Zionist, because I care about Zionism as an ideology. I do not care about Jewish people or Israeli people. These are not a part of my consideration, because I believe in the best of people. I believe that people, regardless of the circumstances that they've been presented with, can see right from wrong.
Okay, very good.
And I thought foolishly that you were one of these people.
Very good.
I foolishly thought you could also see right from wrong. But it's obvious to me that you have simply used what is going on for the past 16 months of horrific
do you want me to respond?
and starvation.
Hasan, you got to stop. You got to stop with the fucking gish galloping. I know.
This
You're
is not a
righteous
gish
and I'm
gallop.
evil.
I'm explaining
Let
to
me
you my
respond.
position.
Let me respond. I agree with you. I think that my characterization of it as a utopia, like in that moment, was distasteful, and I wish that I had said that differently. And I see that it came off bad. It came off bad, and
Dude, I like how like the entire time Hasan has been gish galloping Ethan's direct he doesn't even disagree with him on this specific point, right? On the tweet, right? Like on this specific tweet, like Ethan doesn't even disagree with him. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't deserve that concession because Hasan has been extraordinarily, incredibly rude. Okay, so you know, yeah. Although to be fair, Ethan has, you know, taken personal attack pot shots at Hasan, but Hasan deserves it, okay?
And I was wrong on that one. I totally agree. Watching that clip back, I'm regretful about how I spoke about it. So I agree.
You know what sucks, okay? Is that you have Ethan conceding here, but then Hasan would not concede on the rapes. Huh? I don't think Hasan's been rude this convo. Actually, yeah, no, I think he's been fine there. He just really sucks at arguing. Like, I just don't think. I don't think he deserves this concession just simply because Hasan wouldn't concede to shit.
Thank you. Okay, that's fair.
I love crack.
I wish you were this open-minded for the past 16 months, Ethan. Because I feel like a lot of the conversations that have taken place.
My problem is not with your philosophy on Palestine. My problem is with your community and the harassment you've leveled against me and my family.
People make inferences off of what you say. They do not know what's in your heart. Okay, and this is something that I privately,
on a lot of things.
The issue is the harassment. Talk to you about in the beginning after October 7. I told you time and time again privately.
Okay, bro, you've talked a lot. Let's just move on, please.
You are behaving like a. The reason why people think you are a Zionist is not because you're Jewish, but because of what you're saying.
What did I say that's Zionist?
And they made these.
What have I ever said that shows that I'm Zionist?
Ethan, the way that you have tackled the subject matter.
Say one thing that has shown the world, undoubtedly, how Zionist I am. That I am worthy of the scorn of you and the entire left.
How wrong that was. What you just said.
Okay,
so
does that mean I'm a Zionist? I mean, and by the way, that was a recent clip. That doesn't explain the last 2 years.
Yes, it doesn't.
So
And
what
there's
did I
plenty
say in
there
the
as
last
well.
2 years
There's
besides that
plenty there
clip?
as well.
What did I say, Hasan? What did I say
as
that's
recently
Zionist?
as last month.
You can't
as
give me
recently as
one
last
fucking
month,
contextual example of me saying something that's Zionist after this
Yes.
entire. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
You have something?
I have many things.
List
as recently
one.
as last month. As recently as
List
last month.
one example of me saying
No, I'm
something.
giving you-
Dude, Hasan's so fucking cooked. Dude, Hasan's so fucking cooked, dude. Like, how do you get out of this? It's done. It's over. Dude, it's fucking Jover. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he's so cooked. He is ultra cooked.
Another
He's
example.
well done.
Just calm down and listen. As recently as
You're not
last
answering
month,
my question.
you
You're
talked
just doing
about
this
how
gish galloping.
Hamas is actually putting hostages inside of hospitals. Hamas is actually using tunnel systems under hospitals, and that is part of the reason why Israel is bombing hospitals. Bombing hospitals is a war crime. Okay. Bombing hospitals is a war crime. In your
I don't defend that.
in your conversation with Sam Cedar, while on the one hand you now recognize that Israel.
Okay, Hasan likes to do this thing where he likes to wire his audience on what he thinks Ethan believes, but in actuality, Ethan believes none of these things. But Hasan has spent such a long time convincing his audience that Ethan believes these things that he himself is beginning to believe in these things, if that makes sense.
Doing genocide, and you have in the past as
Basically, I guess what I'm saying is that Hasan's delusional.
well, for sure, but you've also
Consistently.
gone back and forth on it, and you've
Absolutely
called it a
not.
war or
Never.
whatever. But having said that, in your conversation with Sam Cedar, you thought you had a gotcha where you
Drink water?
said
Okay.
that, well, I find it very strange that there's not a single bomb shelter in Gaza.
That's a condemnation of Hamas.
What?
That is a condemnation of Hamas.
I think
Failure
it's a
to
condemnation
protect
of your assessment of reality.
How is that pro-Zionist?
Look at the Gaza Strip.
How is
Do
me
you think a
criticizing
bomb
Hamas
shelter would
pro-Zionist?
actually
Would you like to explain
survive?
that?
Do you think a bomb shelter would actually survive bunker buster bombs?
It'd be a
What
lot
are you
fucking
talking
safer
about?
than
There's not a
the
standing structure
seventh
remaining in
floor
most
of an
parts
apartment
Gaza.
building.
For Israel to actually systematically destroy
You're
every
okay with
hospital
Hamas
implies
spending the
that a bomb
totality?
shelter would
Can I
just
ask you a
simply be
question?
fucking crosshairs.
Can I please ask you a question? Again, me criticizing Hamas makes me a Zionist.
You criticizing Hamas makes you a Zionist?
That's what you're claiming.
I mean, it depends on how. It depends on what you're saying. Yes.
Well, you know exactly
You
what
can-
I said.
You can have criticisms of Hamas in terms of like their own internal domestic affairs. And
Well, what did I do? Your tab just crashed. No. No. Please. I want it
Do you
back.
think a bomb shelter
Give
would
the
actually
dopamine.
survive
Give me the
bunker buster
dopamine.
bombs?
It'd be a
What
lot
are you
fucking
talking
safer
about?
than
There's not a standing
the
structure
seventh
remaining in
floor of
most
an
parts
apartment
of
building.
Gaza. For Israel to actually systematically destroy
You're
every
okay with
hospital
Hamas
implies
spending the
that a bomb
totality?
shelter would
Can I
just
ask you a
simply be
question?
We're so
fucking
back.
crosshairs.
We're
Can
so
I
back.
please ask you a question? Again, me criticizing Hamas makes me a Zionist.
That was good.
You criticizing Hamas makes you a Zionist?
That's what you're claiming.
I mean, it depends on how. It depends on what you're saying. Yes.
Well, you know exactly
You
what
can-
I said.
You can have criticisms of Hamas in terms of like their own internal domestic affairs, in terms of their governance. But if that's your hyper focus, then yes, people are going to make that inference that you are definitely against.
No, but that's not okay. But like, he's not talking about how other people will interpret him. He's talking about what you think, Hasan, right? He's talking about what Hasan thinks of him. Does he think that he is a Zionist because he criticizes Hamas? That is the question. Asmongold does this a lot too, where a lot of the time he would say, you know what? It is in fact the people who believe this way, and so therefore that's what I'm going to say. That's a non-statement. That's not what you believe. That's what you think the people believe. What is it that you believe, right?
Any kind of resistance against the state of Israel.
It's a really cowardly way. It's a really cowardly way to make statements that you don't actually believe in.
Because they don't
the
make bomb
Palestinians-
shelters?
Because your expectation,
Because they
your
don't make bomb
expectation from the
shelters?
Palestinians is to just simply sit there and take it so you can fucking act like you felt bad 10 years down the line.
Everything that you claim, the whole fucking apparatus of harassment that exists across social media with you at the center of it, it infringes on an inference that you maybe meant this. I have never once said I'm Zionist. The only reason people believe that is because you repeat it maliciously
the reason why
time
people
and time
believe that
again.
is because of your hyper focus
Name
on
one.
you, and your distractions
That makes me a Zionist?
away,
That makes
and your
me a Zionist?
deliberate deplatforming attempts towards pro-Palestinian content creators. It
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Being pro-Palestine doesn't
simply
absolve you
say
of guilt.
You recognize the genocide.
That's a crutch that streamers fall on because they always use chat as an excuse for their own shitty views. Yeah. Or Asmongo will also say that's what a lot of people think. Right. Yeah.
But you also literally get mad at people who fight back. You get
So
mad
I'm
at the
public
Houthis.
enemy
You
number
call them
one
terrorists. You call
for defending
Hezbollah a
myself.
terror group, which is by the American state's definition absolutely considered a terror group. But there are plenty of terror groups that have
Hold on. Do you not
successfully
consider Hezbollah a
resisted
terror group?
against American imperialism and other
do you
forms
not
of settler
consider
colonial violence?
Do you not consider Hezbollah a terrorist group?
I think the definition of terrorism by the American State Department is intentionally vague to deny
What about
people their habeas corpus, deny people their due process. It is there to justify whatever kind of militant action that.
By the way, in case you guys are wondering what a crash out looks like, this is what a crash out looks like, okay? He can't even focus on the question anymore. He doesn't know what the fuck, like, he's even being asked at this point, okay? Like, he doesn't even know what the fuck is going on.
The American government can take.
He's just
this
ranting.
Is a severe violation of the
Okay,
American
very good.
Constitution. So
Hassan,
yes,
please, I want to
think
have a.
that this
Can
definition
you?
is
Can I give
intentionally
you? Can I
vague and
ask?
it's
Can I
fucking-
request something?
It's silly.
Can I ask? Can I please request something?
Oh, hello, Bell comment.
I'm interested in having a conversation. You take this and you just go on and on and on and on. You repeat yourself. You double down on the same point. I just want to have a conversation. You make your point and then you move on. You're doing too
filibuster
much.
mode.
Please,
Yeah.
we're gonna be
The
here.
American terrorism designation is silly. Do we agree?
I don't know. But do you,
What do you mean? But you,
well, here I'll be
but
more
you
precise.
use its definition without ever actually
You're
thinking
right.
about
Fuck
it. What do you
Let
mean?
me be more precise. Here's what you said.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do we like them or no?
They are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state.
Okay.
Oh no, this one is so bad. This one is so bad.
A terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well, like
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say.
What did you mean by that? You do not have an issue with Hezbollah.
With Hezbollah? Dude, come on, Hasan. Come on.
Leah, thank you for asking.
You're
Exactly. All right, let me explain. I do not have a single issue with the way that Hezbollah has defended southern Lebanon.
Me neither,
I do not
actually.
have a single issue with Hezbollah as a form of militancy trying to incur penalties on the genocidal state of Israel. Because if you recognize that it is a genocide, then what is the expectation from other parties involved in the region? The very fact that other countries, other countries are not also up in arms is ridiculous, considering that Israel is a belligerent force that is destroying everything in the fucking region because it has an underlying exterminationist policy. And you agree with that because it's a genocide. You
Let me
said
speak,
it's
please.
a genocide.
All right.
So what is the
Hassan,
expectation?
please, this conversation is becoming impossible if you don't just stop.
Sir,
talking
I
for a
am
minute
trying
and
to
allow-
talk. I'm trying to speak. Sir?
Allow me to respond.
Sorry.
Okay.
That was racist.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was funny. Though.
Hezbollah, when it was first founded, I think was a noble thing, right? Of defending Lebanon from the IDF invasion, and they were successful in sending them back to Israel. Now, since then, a lot of terrible shit has happened, right? And you sat there and you said, I do not have a problem with them. So do you not have a problem with what Hezbollah did in Syria, mass murdering civilians on the behest of Assad?
Can you find a single instance where I've actually said I have no problem with Hezbollah's actions in Syria?
You said I don't have a problem with Hezbollah.
No, that specifically.
You know what's so funny?
Do you feel like that is the entirety of my conversation? Because I have talked about Hezbollah's actions in Syria, as a matter of fact, and I do have a problem
You're
with that.
precise
Yes,
with
I
your
don't think
words,
that-
right?
I don't think that harming civilians is in any way, shape, or form remotely correct. Now, having said that,
Dude, this is a slaughter. Just end it already, okay? This is a slaughter, okay? Just please, Hasan, this looks so bad. Just disconnect, okay?
I'm glad that
Please.
you brought up Hezbollah.
It looks
because,
so
again,
bad, dude.
in your video,
Come on.
you falsely claim that Hezbollah is responsible for 500,000 deaths in
They
the
participated.
Syrian conflict.
Yeah.
Okay? You say that Hezbollah is responsible for 500,000 deaths in the
They
Syrian
participated.
conflict. That is the entirety
They
of
participated.
the deaths, including
Yeah,
the
you smell cooked
Hezbollah
meat. Yep.
militancy in the Syrian civil
And therefore,
war.
what? They did nothing wrong?
No, that's not what
So
I'm
what does
saying
it
at
matter
all.
the exact count? Why does that bother
erroneously
you?
claimed that they were responsible for all the deaths. You stood in front
they collaborated.
of footage.
Yes, I
You
have
stood
fries,
in
true.
front of footage of an entire town that was destroyed by what? By barrel bombs. Who has the capacity to have a air force and use barrel bombs to destroy an entire city? Do you think?
Yeah, but dude, but can you please answer the question? I'm pretty sure he was not talking about barrel bombs. I'm pretty sure he was talking about, your statement about Hezbollah. Let's just say I don't mind them. Okay.
Hezbollah has an
They
air force.
participated.
Ethan?
You're
Is
not
that why
listening. You're
is that
being-
why you
you're being silly.
implied that they? Is that why you posted that photo?
Why are you
when
defending
you just-
Hezbollah's action in Syria? Do you think that's a
I'm
good
not
look?
defending that. I'm
You
not
sure
defending that
are.
action.
You'd be like,
I am
Hezbollah didn't
asking
do
you,
that.
Oh,
do you
Hezbollah would
think
never blow up a
Hezbollah has
village
an
in
air force?
Syria.
Do you think Hezbollah has an air force?
Do you think I think that?
Well, you implied it when
I
you
keep
showed
telling
a
you,
hollowed out town
they
that
worked-
was barrel bombed.
they worked
most likely
with
by
the
Russian
government,
forces.
bro.
So why did you use that imagery to imply that Hezbollah had killed 500,000 people?
they were
That is as
complicit.
false. This is my main problem with you, Ethan. You are
You're
spreading
defending terrorism right now,
falsehoods.
by the way.
What?
You are defending a terrorism right now.
No, dude, I'm defending the truth. How is this so hard to comprehend for you?
The truth
I
is
never
Hezbollah
have
did in
once-
Syria wasn't that bad?
They did not kill 500,000
Okay,
people
so it
in
wasn't that
Syria,
bad?
Ethan.
So what Hezbollah did
You
in
are
Syria
taking away
wasn't
the
that bad? How many
responsibility
did they
from the
kill?
Assad regime.
I hate no
You are
shield
taking
ships.
You're
away the
minimizing their
responsibility-
Oh, no shield ships are challenge ships. Like, yeah, they're pretty cool.
How many did they
from-
kill?
You're taking the responsibility away from ISIS. You're taking the responsibility away from the Russian
No, I'm putting
military.
blame on Hezbollah
It's
where it belongs.
ridiculous.
How many did they kill?
I don't even know the exact number of how many they killed. I believe it's like around 2,000 to 5,000, which once again is inappropriate. I have no issue
Did
saying
they collaborate
that.
with Assad?
They did. Yes, they did. They did.
And so what is the issue here exactly? You said you have no issue with them. I think that's a problem.
I think I've described it numerous times at this point. I have no issue with Hezbollah's militancy against a state that is conducting a genocide. That much is very clear.
You didn't say any
As a
of
matter
that. You
of
said,
fact,
I
there
do
are
not
plenty
have
of
a problem with
instances where I've
Hezbollah.
talked about.
You're lying.
As a matter of fact, there are plenty of instances where I have
You're
talked
lying.
I just, okay, I don't really get. Buckle? What did you just say? Okay, we're gonna ignore that you said that, okay? Okay. The fuck?
about Hezbollah's
Dude.
militancy in Syria.
When you're done
as
lying, I'll
a
explain.
Axis of wait, what?
When you're done lying, I'll explain. You didn't say
I'm
that.
not. What,
You
what do you
said
mean I'm
I.
lying?
You said
I'm
I
telling
don't.
you
were
what my
talking
position
to a
is right
normie.
now.
You were talking to a normie who didn't understand anything about the conflict, and he said, "How do we feel about Hezbollah?" A general question. How do we feel about Hezbollah? Your answer was, "We don't. I don't have a problem with them. Let's just say." And then, by the way, Hasan, you start trying to minimize their inclusion in this fucking wanton slaughter of Syrian civilians.
Wait, what? I'm minimizing their inclusion of the wanton slaughter of Syrian
Here's what you said,
civilians?
because you want to be
Dude,
precise.
You made up
I like what you like.
Ethan, you
I don't have an issue with
stupidly
them, let's
said
just
that they
say.
killed 500,000 civilians. What are you talking about? I did not minimize their wanton slaughter in the Syrian civil war.
Do you think that they didn't participate with Assad to make that happen? I mean, they were allied.
They did.
participated. Okay, so then why are you defending them?
I'm not defending
sure
them,
sounds like it.
Ethan. I have already described to you that I am critical of their actions. You are misquoting me. You are misunderstanding.
I am verbatim repeating what you said, you
and I'm having a
liar.
conversation directly with you, so I don't understand.
How can
I'm
you
not
lie to
minimizing
people?
what they
Like,
did.
we
I'm
just
minimizing
watched the clip.
the arbitrary number that you put there because you don't do enough research.
No, that number was based on the totality of deaths. My claim was that they participated in it. You were not critical of their actions in this clip.
Why did you put the so you're telling me you've never claimed that Hezbollah has killed more Muslims than Israel has, that IDF has?
Dude, who cares, right? Like, dude, Ethan Klein would be more than happy to admit that IDF has done tons of war crime. But the issue here is, once again, that Hasan refuses to acknowledge that Hezbollah has done war crimes that are worth condemning, right? Like, he is deathly afraid of condemning anything that any kind of terrorist organization does. And quite frankly, it's embarrassing, isn't it? Because you would imagine that it would be the easiest thing in the world to condemn, but he can't even bring himself to do it because his terrorist-loving audience would have an issue with it, dude. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know when I think I did say that, and I think that was wrong.
It's fucked
I was
up.
incorrect.
Yeah, you've said that numerous times.
Right?
You actually
I don't
said you
think that numerous
ChatGPT'd
times.
against AB when AB was like, I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, by the way, I that's something I looked into, and I was actually wrong about that for sure.
Okay, don't you feel like this kind
Yeah, he is the very definition of audience captured. Yes.
of misinformation is somewhat don't you think that saying stuff like that is going to make people infer that you might be more pro-Israel than you let on?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't,
You mean I'm
it doesn't
Zionist?
work like this, right? You're not just like clicking a box and you're like, well, I said it was a genocide. What more do you want from me? Okay, you did. But then you spend all of your time criticizing
Responding to
people
harassment.
who are offering analysis and not justification,
can I flip it
how
on you a
these
little
groups
bit?
Are actually formed. You're upset.
Hassan, you're doing
learning
it.
about
You're doing it again.
Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm
talking,
hoping
bro.
to explain to you something so you recognize that you're wrong, as you've done
No,
twice
you don't
now.
need to
So
explain
this is
anything to me. I
productive now.
understand your point. Don't you? So you're accusing me of being irresponsible with my words. Don't you think saying you have no issue with Hezbollah makes people think you're pro-terrorist?
I don't care that people think this. It's ridiculous.
Why would you bite down on that? Do you know how clippable that is? That is a perfect clip. That is like literally a perfect clip, right? Don't you realize that maybe like people think that you're pro-terrorist? Well, I don't care that people think that. Huh? Wait, what do you mean by that?
Ridiculous.
So
Okay, we need to replay it. You're right.
And not justification, but analysis.
Can I flip
to
it
how
on you a
these
little
groups
bit?
Are actually formed. You're upset.
Hassan, you're doing it.
About,
you're doing it again.
I'm not doing anything. I'm
talking,
hoping
bro.
to explain to you something so you recognize that you're wrong, as you've done twice
you don't
now.
need to
So
explain
this is
anything to me. I
productive
understand
now.
your point. Don't you? So you're accusing me of being irresponsible with my words. Don't you think saying you have no issue with Hezbollah makes people think you're pro-terrorist?
I don't care that people think this. It's ridiculous.
So are people valid for thinking you're pro-terrorist?
Do you believe
say,
the state? Do you believe the State
answer?
Department's designation for
Answer the
terrorism is
question.
valid?
Is it reasonable for people to think that you are pro-terrorist when you say I have no problem with Hezbollah?
Do you believe the State Department's designation for terrorism is valid?
You answer my question, and I'll answer yours. Are people valid?
Ethan,
in
you
considering
rely heavily on your
answer?
audience not.
Bro, it's over. Hasan is 400% done. Okay, like, how could you? Bro, okay, you know what? That took some balls, okay? That took some balls. That took some balls.
really
Can you
understanding
please
the
answer
terms
my
that
question?
you are using.
Let it be
okay?
noted you are dodging.
When you say, "Oh, Hasan defends
That took some balls to
terrorists,"
admit, okay?
Literally
there's a
just
reason
did.
why you say that. You say that to
You literally just
disparage
did.
me without actually addressing my arguments. And now, when you're faced with me, face to face, to
God, bro,
talk
you're
about
doing it
these
again.
issues, you agree with me. So if you agree with me, you called Hezbollah a noble group. Should I
In the
just run
beginning,
around
shit
being like
changed.
Ethan defends terrorism? Well, I think you do, but
I
for a
said their
different reason,
actions
and we'll
were
get to
noble.
that
I
in a
didn't call
second.
them a noble group. Again, you have a problem with the truth.
You just said that their
I said their
inception
actions
was
were
a
noble.
noble one.
Yeah.
You said Hezbollah was.
It's different from saying Hezbollah is a noble organization. But I really need you to answer this. Isn't it reasonable for people to assume you're pro-terrorist if you say stuff like, I have no problem with Hezbollah? Just answer the question, yes or no.
I don't think it's reasonable for people to assume that I'm pro-terrorism because I think people are going to assume that regardless because I am.
But people can assume I'm Zionist.
position.
But it's okay for it's okay for people to assume I'm Zionist.
Yes.
Got
Because,
it. The logic
no,
is
you don't
clear.
understand what I'm saying. I get why people assume that. I get why people.
He doesn't need to bite down on these bullets. Why is he biting down? Foods, why hat? Why not pretty hairpin? Deckleberry, I'm pretty sure you're the only one that doesn't like the hat.
People are going to
I don't
assume that
know.
regardless because
it's comfortable.
People can assume I'm
presenting a
It's a comfortable hat, okay?
Zionist. But it's okay for people to it's okay for people to assume I'm Zionist.
Yes.
Got
Because,
it. The logic
no,
is
you don't
clear.
understand what I'm saying. I get why people assume that. I get why people assume
I get why
I'm
people
a
assume you're
fucking
you're
pro-terrorist.
pro-terrorist.
Yeah. Do you feel? Okay, let's talk about that then. Do you feel like
Hey, if there's something I'm crazy or something, but I'm starting to think this Hasan guy's a terrorist. I'm starting to think he's a champagne terrorist, okay? He's just like all the other Hamas leaders hiding away in places that are other than Gaza, you know, in cities in order to amass large amounts of wealth, okay?
someone being branded pro-terrorist is as impactful under the Trump administration as someone being pro-Israel is?
Well, as someone who's been branded as
Yeah,
a
cosplay
pro-Israel
terrorist.
Zionist in my space, it is a horrifically fucking it's resulted in the unbelievable, unprecedented. I've been on the internet for 10 years, right? I've been through all kinds of controversies, all kinds of shit. I have never once in my entire life, Hasan, experienced the amount of harassment, the organized, psychotic campaign to try to ruin my life, all of my all my employees' life, my family's life, their family's life. This is your community acting in response to what you're saying about me being pro-Zionist. So do I think it's worse? In my experience, it's much worse.
My community that's done any of these things that you're talking about.
Okay, Hasan, can I ask you a question? Why the fuck were you browsing H3 Snark the other day and pulling clips from that?
I don't know. Someone fucking sent me a clip in the chat.
Okay. And so you shit and pissed about me pulling a meme from Destiny's subreddit. I have
Ethan,
never even
look
pulled
to
the
your-
subreddit up, but you're on stream browsing H3 Snark. How do you explain that?
Ethan, your entire subreddit is a snark subreddit dedicated to me. What the fuck are you talking
That's literally
about?
not.
All right. Okay, how about this? Do you see this? Oh. This isn't too bad either, right? Whoa. Jesus. Okay. I'm gonna struggle with this, okay? Oh, Jesus.
Not true.
I don't have a single issue at this point. What are you talking about? You have personally moderated your own subreddit to turn into this, by the way. So many people that have criticized you from your own fan base have
Hasan,
left your
you
community
said your
for this
community has
reason
nothing to
because
do
you
with
can't take a
this.
fucking ounce of criticism from your paying members. How many people are like, I love Teddy Fresh. I have so many fucking pieces of Teddy Fresh clothing. Now I feel embarrassed to wear it because look at what he has become.
There's plenty of
This
fans.
is at
Don't
the
worry
heart
about
of this
that.
problem. If you want to talk about it, from
Okay, I better see these donos rolling in, okay? I better see these donos rolling in now that I'm putting on the hair clip,
the
okay?
perspective of psychoanalysis,
No,
the real reason why
Hasan,
you've gone on
you
this
are
endless
lying.
vendetta
You
is
said-
because you can't comprehend
Jesus
the
Christ,
reality.
bro. I just want to have a
that your
conversation. I don't want to
your own
gish
audience that
gallop
you've
forever.
cultivated has a has a difference in opinion in the way that you've presented yourself throughout this
Hasan,
conflict.
please
and if
let
you
me just talk.
demonstrated-
This is you say
if
your
you
community
demonstrated
has nothing to do
affection-
with the harassment that I've received.
Ethan, if you
Someone
demonstrated-
please,
Ethan,
Hasan, let me finish a
listen to
point.
me. If you demonstrated,
dude, you've got to let me finish a point. This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna mute you and just keep talking. If you
Okay,
keep
that's
doing this.
great. I think that means you won the debate.
Yeah. No. Listen to me.
So I'm not
If you
muted.
demonstrated
So
a
hold on, let me
fraction of the
finish.
humility-
You gotta let me say something.
If you demonstrated a fraction of the humility you did just
You've
now,
got
most people would
to
not
let
have
me
left your
say
community, by the
something.
way.
I don't care that they left the community. That was obvious.
You definitely do.
I've got plenty of fans left. Don't worry. Here, listen.
You know what Ethan should do? Ethan should just let Hasan ramble on for as long as possible and just mute Hasan. And then message Hasan, hey, DM me when you're done, okay? And then ask the same question as if Hasan's rant never existed.
Just a
You
drink.
claim your
A
community.
martini, shaken, not stirred.
Hairpin supremacy, smiling face with hearts.
Hey, Decoberry, thank you for the 10 Australian, okay? I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Has nothing to do with the harassment. Yet you said in the same breath that your chat linked you to H3 Snark, the
That's like
subreddit
$1,
primarily responsible for coordinating that harassment, and you pulled it up on your stream.
Do you have evidence that H3 Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say that?
Like random anonymous
Did I
Redditors?
say that?
Wait.
I said they're primarily responsible for harassing me.
Who called CPS?
What the fuck? So I don't know. Did I claim they did? You're dodging, bro. You are absolutely dodging. You claim your community has nothing to do with the harassment, yet you were browsing H3 Snark. Now, let me ask you this, Hasan. How many times have I browsed the Destiny subreddit on my show?
Have blamed virtually everyone for calling CPS. Answer my question.
What?
So you don't know who called CPS, and yet for the past couple of months, you've been like, it's whoever I don't like that is called CPS.
No.
And now you're claiming that my community is responsible for it.
I think it's the tone. No, bro, what is wrong with you? Did I say your community called CPS? The harassment campaign is much more broad than that.
Yes, you're inferring it.
You can't address an actual issue, so you turn it into you're straw manning, basically. I'm saying your community is responsible for this participating in this harassment campaign. You said chat sent you this link, did they not?
Yes, last week. What are you talking about?
Okay, so your chat is involved with.
Oh, we're talking about the subreddit CPS point, right? Okay, just making sure I know where I am right now.
H3 Snark, which, by the way, funnily enough, the new Snark page is called Leftovers H3, and it's got a picture of you in the avatar.
Giving it a shout out. Shout out to Leftovers H3.
It's got a picture of you, Hasan. You don't need to shout him out. You're already doing it. Don't you think that's odd?
You did it.
No, I think it's.
Also, what do you think? Like, first of all, do you think I have any say on what fucking happens in these subreddits? What are you talking about?
Well, you have a say what happens in your Discord and chat, which you absolutely do not moderate. And there's so much evidence of the disgusting shit.
That's also completely fucking
Well,
false.
why did you criticize XQC for not moderating his chat when you called in?
Ethan,
why
I can't believe you
did you criticize XQC
for
not moderating his chat?
Yes, XQC has actively used his community over the course of many years at this point, as he was, doing Gamba and wanted to fucking keep gambling and felt bad that I was criticizing him to attack me. Okay, there's a difference between
that's different than what your community has done. How?
What?
How is that different than your community attacking me?
You want to know how it's different? I have an 8-minute clip compilation all the way from when our podcast ended all the way to December of 2024, where I actively defend you. That is moderating
bro,
my community.
I do not give a fuck about your quote unquote defending as your community went.
Oh, I have a clip compilation. Oh, wow.
Rabid with your approval. Please spare me.
With my approval? I just told you.
It's your community, bro. You literally say in this clip that it's let me play this clip for you because it will show just what a liar hypocrite you are.
People don't fucking like you, big dog. I don't know what to do.
Oh, they love you, huh?
What do you want me to do?
Fucking everybody loves Hasan. Everybody loves iDubbbz too.
Ethan,
my objective is not to be liked, Hasan. That might surprise you. It might surprise you. My objective in life is not to be liked. Or, I mean, it's not to specifically be liked. That is not my objective. I know that's foreign to you.
Then why? Why are you bringing any of this up? People don't like you. I can't change that. Okay, there's
Yeah.
plenty of people who don't like me either.
My whole career's been people not liking me, but I've never experienced this level of harassment. You are unwilling to contend.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
I have a clip compilation, said the champagne commis.
Hey, Dio, thank you for the $2. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, wait, hold on. Like, is it like this? Heart, heart, heart. Okay, all right, that's enough. Okay, stop. Cringe.
Or concede at any point that you are
Yeah, because I'm not responsible for it. Here, play this video, Dan. Here you go.
Anyway, it's not about being liked either. It's about harassment,
Here.
bro.
Go ahead. Show your audience, because you've been saying that I've been like
Yeah.
leading a
I'm
harassment
waiting
campaign.
for it. I'm waiting for it.
I sent it.
Are you?
It's
Dan,
embarrassing
sorry, hold on,
too,
hold on.
especially
Dan is in
because
the
the way
bathroom.
you behave now. Ugh.
Dan is in the bathroom, so hold on. You okay?
My argument with you in that conversation where I said there's not anything I can do was literally because of the way you were presenting yourself in the conversation.
True, guys. Slap more likes, okay? 30 viewers and only 9 likes? I better see these likes go up, and I better see these donuts go up, okay? Thank you. I appreciate it.
That we had, you inferred that JVP was akin to capos. You said that from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
I'm not going to let you stun lock me again. Another pathetic fucking lie. Holy shit.
You literally fucking posted about a pro-Palestinian dude on Twitter saying that he would be thrown off of roofs like fucking Hamas is ISIS. If you say all of that, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, most people are going to not think that you're a chicken. They're going to think you're a duck.
Okay, I'm not going to get stunlocked by these insane accusations. I never called them capos. That's what you said. That's part of the harassment campaign. You put those words in my mouth, and now it's something that I still hear. I have never called them capos.
Wait. So you haven't, as recently as a month ago, still called them token Jews and that they are completely off base with the rest of the
Is that the
with
same
the
as
rest of the
capos?
movement.
Do you have a problem with like levels? It's all or nothing. Is calling someone criticizing someone be a token the same as calling them capos?
Why would you call Jews who are standing against genocide, which you also recognize as a genocide?
Can I play this? This is the clip.
Token Jews
Here's what
that
you
are
said.
not representative of the broader movement.
Well, they're statistically
You also
not.
called Matt Lieb a capo.
Matt Lieb's a disgusting human being who platformed Bad Empanada, who's like you.
So you do have a problem. You do have a problem with
Matt Lieb specifically,
Jews
yes.
that you don't like, and you are quick
I have
to
a
call
problem
them
with Matt
capos.
Lieb, who's platforming Bad Empanada. Yes, clearly. Is there you don't like Bad Empanada? You understand? A year ago, you were talking about how crazy he was.
But I'm not.
But suddenly, when he
Here's
starts
the
talking
difference.
about me,
Here's the
he's your
difference,
best friend.
Ethan.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think Bad Empanada is insane. But you know what? I also
And all of a
always
sudden,
say?
you love his videos. Why is that?
Bad Empanada.
Why do you
and
love
I've
his
maintained
videos
this
suddenly?
position- I've
Before
maintained
you
this
pledged never to
position-
watch his videos on stream. Why do you love them now?
Oh, because he was he did not want me reacting to his videos.
That is
Initially,
insane, pathetic, bold-faced
that's
lie.
what it is. No, he said
You literally told. Oh my god, dude.
I have.
Okay, first of all, let me play this clip of you criticizing XQC.
Okay, wait. You
And all these other
Now let's watch this. You asked for it.
Actually,
Hold on. You asked for this. Here's what you said.
Because it's not something
Oh my
he would
God!
ever
Wait,
ask
I sent
for.
you a
and
clip.
all these
Why
other
aren't you playing
content
that one?
creators actually,
watch.
whipping their communities when
Whipping their
chat is
communities.
going fucking absolutely bananas over random dumb shit and bringing my name up for no fucking reason. That you were just allowing that shit to run rampant in your chat. And I thought that was fucked up. Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do, especially as someone who thought we were fucking friends. I think that's a reasonable expectation for someone who you consider to be a friend.
The problem wasn't that he was
So
pro-Palestine.
You have to show my clip now.
It makes sense.
Yeah, okay, no, great. Show my clip.
Sure.
Show my clip that I sent Dan.
Yeah. No problem. But Here you go. I'm gonna pull it up for you. Oh yeah, TikTok. This is gonna be good. Ethan Klein debunked 7 minutes, bro. Hold on. I'm not gonna watch the 7-minute clip. What do you want me to watch?
7 minutes of it.
Okay, you think if I just play it from the beginning?
Like, why the fuck is he bringing up a clip compilation? Shouldn't it be like the effects of what actions that, you know, he is actually doing, right? Like, shouldn't what really matters here be like, oh yeah, even though I haven't defended you all that much, I have in the background tried to prevent people from harassing you, right? Isn't that like a far better way of doing things instead of this like weird cringe like, oh, here's this compilation of me saying barely minimally kind things to you, right? It makes no sense. Like, this is cringe.
Beginning, they'll get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you'll get it.
All right.
And you can skip towards like the end too if you want, like towards the
By
middle.
the way, this has 1,000 likes, bro. Are you name searching yourself or what?
No, the person who made it sent it to me.
Oh, okay. Nice. I guess it's
What?
hard hitting.
Ethan is a mega Zion.
Okay, did they? Okay, now the real question is, did they make it on the spot? Right? Because now I'm totally curious. Okay, it could entirely be the case that they made it literally on the spot in order to help out Hasan. Now I'm totally curious about that part. Okay.
You are wrong. Okay. Trust me. I don't think you know. I don't think you know many Zionists if you think Ethan is a mega Zionist. Not even close, dude. Time and time.
Funnily enough, that's still true.
Again, I've spoken about how Ethan is not your enemy. A person who cries when a Palestinian child dies is not your enemy. Okay? He's not. I've said these exact words over and over again.
The problem is that your community is obviously an unhinged, and if you don't defend me, my community is going to get mad at you. It's definitely just an optics play, which, by the way, you never stuck to.
Shut up. Keep playing.
Let me guess. It's more videos of you defending me?
Keep playing. Enough. I told people in this community and people everywhere that will listen to what I have to say that you have to choose who you are actually angry at. There are people who are so loud and so proud about the ethnic cleansing campaign that Palestinians are experiencing currently. Go yell at them. He's been shitting on you on his members-only streams. I don't care. I don't care. Bro literally shot on you yesterday and his coworker for saying from the river to the sea, sorry, dog. I don't care. I do not...
By the way, Hasan can be the staunchest defender, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because in the end, like, they still went ahead and attacked Ethan Klein, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. Like none of this matters. I don't get why he thinks that this actually matters, right? We don't even know the... Dude, because you can say all of this on his stream, but in the background, like, he could still be totally ignorant to all the harassment.
Get people to stop yelling about you at that point.
Okay, let me go to the middle so you can have your thing, and then we'll move on.
And it frustrates me to no fucking end. I've told you this time and time again. In this time frame. Just like I kept telling you, Ethan is not your enemy over and over again. That's why I love iDubbbz, Ethan as well. People that have actually changed course, recognize their mistakes.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we get the idea. It's fine. You know what I mean? You're the best friend ever. By the way,
whoa.
No, whoa. My turn.
Well, I was
You were just screaming, play the video. You told me to shut up.
I wasn't moderating my community and claiming that
you screamed to shut up and play the video. So I'm going to ask you to return the favor at this moment. You claimed that you didn't watch. Here's what you said about bad Empanada. You lied to me.
By the way, Hasan wants him to continue playing the video because he's trying to buy time. He's trying to buy some breathing room from the absolute super spanking that Ethan Klein is frankly giving Hasan. Okay, this absolute fucking railing, this absolute back shots. Okay, all the back shots that Ethan is currently giving Hasan right now. Hasan needs a break from the beatings. Okay?
And said, you don't watch his videos because he asked you not to. Magically, when he started talking about me, you became his biggest fan, and you watch his videos on your stream regularly, which has resulted in an explosion of his popularity. Here's what you said about him a year before this conflict.
Banana video on
nice
the
shirt,
stream.
by the way.
I'm just letting you guys know. If you think I'm gonna fucking watch a YouTube essay from a dude literally openly antagonistic towards me watching fucking YouTube videos, you're out of your fucking mind, okay? You think I want him to write like 700 hours worth of new YouTube essays about how I have wronged him? I don't want...
Shaken, not stirred.
Cheese on mine.
I don't know what that means, but thank you for the $2 cannonball. Much appreciated. Wait, how do I do this again? Okay, that's it. Thank you.
I don't want that at all, okay?
Day genocide propaganda will come. Thanks for watching.
That's in the clip,
Free
Ethan.
Palestine.
You keep doing this thing.
Thanks for watching.
The clip.
Yeah, go support this.
I'm playing the clip. Just chill out.
I said it. I told you why I wasn't watching that Empanada.
Oh my God, Hasan, you're talking over the clip. You need to let it play, okay? You're making the clip unwatchable.
Mine, okay? You think I want him to write?
Bro, it's just a minute long. You can chill for a minute.
Will come. Thanks for watching. Free Palestine.
God, Hasan just looks like such a little like kid. He looks like such a fucking baby right now. Like he just wants his candy. He's so used to things going his way. He's just not used to the absolute fucking omega sexual spanking that he's getting right now. Jesus Christ.
Watching.
Yeah, go support this dipshit that I do appreciate, regardless of my disagreements with him.
That's you now.
On his optics and the ways that he conducts
support
himself
him.
with regular frequency.
Link to
Because
his
ultimately, his product, his YouTube essays, as a standalone entity, is always solid. Rick's such a fucking freak, dude. Oh my lord, he is such a goddamn freak. He is the most insane person. He has like 7,000 accounts. I just said I have an official blockade on bad Empanada videos on this broadcast while I'm live. That's number one. And number two, he's not just mean on Twitter. He is a psychopath, okay? The idea that he's just...
correct. Okay. By the way, the guy who's a psychopath, who's not just mean on Twitter, who has 7,000 accounts, as you say, is somebody that you gleefully platform his videos about me. So I'm just saying... Your community doesn't do harassment, right? Let's just promote bad Empanada, who literally exists to harass people by your own fucking definition.
None of the things that you just showed is ridiculous. He is not just
well, you're talking.
He is the
No, you're doing it right now.
Most insane person on Twitter. Yeah, let me go watch a video about a dude who constantly talks about how I'm fucking a reactionary fake socialist because I watch people's videos. That seems like a good idea. It's age restricted, which means there's like TOS violations galore in there. Fucking bad Empanada. The cringiest, like, classic angry leftist who never shuts the fuck up and is just angry at the entire planet. Anyway, let's continue.
Why is he a terrorist? He's an Arab in Yemen. Why else would he be a terrorist, right?
Someone who, by the way, yes, like, you're. By the way, you couldn't even watch a fucking 7-minute video of me actually defending you to your audience because that would kind of betray the narrative that you presented.
It's almost done. It's almost done.
He would perhaps benefit tremendously if I did watch his YouTube videos on this channel, but I'm never gonna fucking do that.
So you said he would benefit tremendously if I watched him, but I will never fucking do that until he starts shitting on Ethan. By the way, my community doesn't harass people.
That's not true. Let me explain to you what.
Absolutely, provably.
I just like, why is he just denying everything? He could have just like, dude, guys, Hasan's ego is like so fragile. What else can I say?
Look, do you want to hear my perspective, or do you want to fucking just keep playing clips that your production team put together? Okay, so bad Empanada.
Sorry for preparing.
No, there's no problem with that. I mean, you're still doing a horrible job at it, but it's all good.
We'll see.
So bad Empanada is crazy. I still say that. He attacks me all the fucking time. He says I'm a Jewish exceptionalist Zionist. Okay, like. There's disagreements that I have with bad Empanada. There's disagreements with his tactics, as I've shown in that video, as I've said in that video. There's disagreements with the way he presents himself. But if you notice in that video, I also said something. His work on YouTube, okay, his work on his YouTube essays stands alone. Bad Empanada.
What about his videos attacking me? Are those, is that part of his great body of work?
Bad Empanada on his YouTube.
Well, that doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. You're endorsing somebody who is absolutely insane. You're telling people to go check out his videos because you're so hate-filled and you have a hate boner for Ethan Klein, right?
YouTube essays, especially when it's issue-specific, are actually very instructive.
Then why are you watching ones called Ethan Klein is a Zionist baby killer? Why are you watching that one? Is that part of his master body of collection?
Oh.
Is that part of the Criterion collection there, buddy? Why does bad it is good. Why does bad Empanada role play hunting Hila and killing her in video games?
Have I ever said that I think that's appropriate?
I think no, of course not. No. But what you are doing is endorsing this guy.
Do I agree with you that bad Empanada is crazy and also does crazy shit because he's a fucking scraggly internet troll who is, once again, as a separate, you know, you like to compartmentalize Israel proper from doing a genocide. I like to compartmentalize the content that I'm consuming from a guy who I do think is doing well-sourced, well-researched YouTube essays
Are
who
you
also happens to
fucking
be a
kidding
fucking
me?
freak
Ethan
who literally
Klein
hates
is a
me.
Zionist
But in terms
dog,
of
and by the way, I
blockade
wanna
on
kill his
Bad
wife.
Empanada, the reason why that blockade ended, and I've watched other videos that are not related to you from Bad Empanada in the past on this
How
broadcast
many?
as well.
How
The
many?
reason why that blockade ended
How many
is
have you
because
watched not about me?
What?
How
The
many
reason
videos of
why-
his have you watched that are not about me?
I don't know.
Maybe I don't
have
know.
no idea.
Maybe one.
I've watched a fuck ton though. I've watched a fuck ton of Bad Empanada videos.
And are most of them about me?
Yikes.
No,
Oh,
no, not all of them are
please.
about
That
you.
Actually, this segues perfectly. You claim I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah.
That's part of the
Okay.
narrative, right?
I mean, that's not
this
just
is
me claiming that, Ethan. I think at this point, a lot of people see it, right?
Very good. Well, let's see. Let's see. Ugh, God damn it. Well, I got to refresh this. So here's an example from one of these clip channels. These are all different clips, right? Over a 2-month period, there's edited down 24 hours of you talking about me. 24 hours. That's over the.
These are most likely.
Hold on.
These are fan channels.
Let me. Over
These are
60-day
fan channels.
period.
This is
That's
disingenuous.
24 minutes per day.
Ethan, these are fan channels. This
Right.
is disingenuous. You're
Right.
presenting the same. You're presenting.
Okay, first of
fan
all, I'm
channels
just
that are
showing how much you talk
posting-
about me on stream. Second of all, that the fan channel
Ethan,
defense is a.
Ethan.
Let me finish.
Okay. Dude, you come on. Why would you nah, just sit out the timeout, okay? I
The
think
fan
we're good.
channel thing is a
You're fine.
clever part of your disinformation campaign to avoid any responsibility. And the fact is, if I wanted to show all your fan channels, this is how many fucking videos was uploaded about me in the last 22 days. You think that's regular? You think that's regular?
Ethan, I have no
Who's
control
obsessed
over my
with
fan
who?
channels. What do you mean? You're literally showing the same. I say one thing on Twitter, on my
66
Twitch
videos
stream.
about me.
I say one thing on my Twitch stream. Fan channels make the video of the same
And
thing
you
over and over
love
again.
it. It's
So
all
of course
part,
it's
so
gonna
you
look
don't
like
ever
I'm
have to
talking
accept
about you a lot more
responsibility.
than it actually is, but it's actually the same fucking video.
Yeah. No. Well, so yeah, this is the total. No.
It's the same moment.
No. This has same
It's
moments. The last
usually
one
the
does
same
not.
moment multiplied.
No,
Go
this
back
one
to the
does not
fucking
have this.
photo.
No, this one does not have the same moments. This one is unique times you talked about me on your
Okay.
stream. Well, why are you to deny that you talked about me for 24 hours of unedited?
Wait, hold on. How fucking long is this? Do I want to watch the rest of it tonight? Okay, so this thing is extremely long. We're gonna watch it for maybe 15 more minutes? We'll see. Okay,
Content the past 2 months, 24 minutes per day, 7 days a week.
For the past 2 months.
Yes, 24 minutes a day.
I don't.
Listen, I'm probably gonna watch the rest of it offline, maybe, depending, because I want to watch some videos on this one. Okay, I want to watch some people's reactions on this one. So I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. Okay. Actually, I think I'm gonna prevent myself from watching the second half. Okay, even though like I'm gonna be watching other people's reactions. We'll see.
I don't deny
We'll
that,
see.
probably.
Okay, so and I'm
because I think you are up until this very moment, you have presented yourself as someone who is actually playing a formative role in deplatforming pro-Palestinian content creators. That was the reason why I'm having this conversation with you. Also,
Really?
now, I'm glad that you brought up
Hold
the
on.
obsession.
Do you think this is
because
reasonable?
I have some numbers as well.
Hold on, you're accusing me of being obsessed, Hasan.
Tomorrow
Is this
night, am I back
reasonable,
here, promise?
or is this
Okay.
obsessed behavior? At what point does it become obsessed behavior? At 30 minutes per day?
You can just watch the
Because I
vlog
don't
then.
talk about you that much, not even close.
Ethan, I have some information as well to present to you.
Go
Okay?
ahead. And by the way, just take this in, okay?
On
Last
your
60 days.
Instagram stories alone, since January 1st, 2025. Hold on. Let me pull this up really quickly. Oh, you have on your Instagram stories, not including clips, since January 31st, you have mentioned me one.
Dude, guys, he's like taking in information from his chat. He's like getting stuff from his chat. Dude, he's so shameless. He might as well be asking ChatGPT, dude.
110
Why do this?
times.
What? Based on what? I don't believe that.
On your Instagram
wait, hold on.
story
From what period?
post
From what period of
since
time?
January
So
31st.
shameless, dude.
Hold on.
So shameless.
Since what date?
So
You,
shameless,
not fan
dude.
I'm
channels,
asking you
this
for
is
what
your
date?
Instagram.
What's your date? What's the date? I'm asking.
January 31st,
2023?
Since January 31st on your Instagram stories.
But haven't the stream go down?
Including
What
clips.
year?
No, it's still up.
What year?
What are you talking about?
Oh, 2025.
So you're saying I storied about you 100 times this year? That's an absolute fucking lie. Show me the evidence of that. Show me your evidence. I've got pictures. What do you got?
Stream's still good, yeah.
I talked about you 110 times. Show me.
Clips. You have basically 1.2 posts per day about me, 9 stories per week.
Where are you? Show me the evidence.
We tabulated it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the dump. Oh, no.
Son,
it's shocking. It shocked you, it seems.
Sure, yeah. But this isn't a somehow, by the way, this doesn't surprise you. 66 videos about me in the last 2 months. They're not my channels. They operate with your approval, under your direction. It's part of your disinfo campaign to avoid responsibility. It's so obvious.
Within the context. It's almost always within the context of you literally fucking Hostweet, when are we in agreement?
Hasan,
you
say
called me stupid, and I said my video is bad.
You're streaming it,
but
bro.
wait.
You're streaming the hate videos. You're streaming. This is what you stream. I make a
your
story.
Entire fucking stream is a hate video.
By the way, somebody was asking how Hasan funnels his audience to his extremist orbiters. This is how. This is also part of it. So in addition to the Discord community, it is also watching their crazy videos on stream. Okay, and that is part of the funneling. So yes, even though Hasan himself doesn't present on that much of an extremist face, even though I would actually disagree with that and say that he does actually present an extremist face, he 100% has mask on, and he funnels people down to the mask off orbiters. Okay, that's it. That's part of the pipeline.
Yo, what are you talking about? Your entire subreddit is a hate subreddit against me, which is fine. You want to do that? You can do that. That's precisely the reason why Reddit literally got back to you when you fucking cried to them about the snark channels and said, "What are you talking about? You basically have a harassment channel on Reddit. How are you complaining about this?" Not only that, but you also tried to sue anonymous Redditors to dox them.
When did I try to sue? Whoa.
You wanted to dox them to their families.
What? This is on your
frivolous lawsuits to Redditors, to anonymous Redditors, knowing full well that they would be scared into submission. You also posted about that on your Instagram stories
Can anonymous Redditors defame you and harass you? Can anonymous posters who literally posted fake, they doctored posts, posted it on our subreddit saying I was banning people who are wishing a happy Ramadan. Okay, and that went viral.
I don't even know what the deal was. I don't even know what the fuck that was about.
Well, it's an outright lie. Hold on, dude. Let me respond.
Did you or did you not get your lawyer?
You need to stop because I'm gonna.
Did you or did you not get your lawyer to try to bully, extort people that are anonymous Redditors?
Who's extorting?
They said some shit about you.
Bro, let me answer. Are you just going to fucking
get?
Okay, you want to make this interview unwatchable? Is that your goal? Yeah,
go on.
Kind of, right? So let me talk.
Yeah.
These anonymous posters, okay, were showing pictures of the front of our office, organizing to meet there. They were
what?
I know you haven't seen it, but it's true. They have documented. I have proof of them faking a post saying I was banning people wishing Ramadan. That was posted to Snark that went viral in your community. It was picked up by people in your community, leftist Twitter, TikTok, etc. It was an outright lie. It was defamation. And by the way, those people should be held accountable.
Can find one instance where I've talked about you, Ramadan, whatever the fuck.
I'm explaining the context, dude. You're accusing me of something.
Until this moment. What are you talking about,
bro? You're unreal. I'm explaining the context. How's that weird? You accuse me of something. I'm explaining why.
Because you're saying that I'm.
Who would have been the best person to moderate this? Destiny.